Welcome all to Collective Minds Episode 2. A good Friday evening. The weekend's finally upon us. I guess we can kick this off with, I've got a couple of topics that I thought would be interesting to discuss.
And the hot chat for you, buddy.
What's that?
I'll moderate the chat for you.
Oh, thanks. In fact, I was going to pull it up on. I don't have the YouTube live, but I can see it in the.
Hey, Jerry. So last week we kind of did a roundabout of what you primarily collect. So since you missed out, to interrupt,
fill everyone in. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of all over the place. You know, when I really kind of got into the higher end of statues, I was trying to stick with stuff from my days in comic books, and I really need to get back to that. I fell off that wagon. So that's kind of where I'm going to get back and try to direct where I'm going. But I don't really. I'm all over the place. I have DC. I have Marvel. I have scale differences. I don't suffer from the OCD that some people in this hobby do seem to suffer from. So mixing things together and worrying about my display is not a huge thing for me. I appreciate those that do. I mean, Ark, yours looks fantastic. Ryan, yours looks fantastic. Greg, you stacked boxes like nobody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And
better than you all, right?
Let's welcome our guest. Greg, welcome to Collective Minds. Would you like to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what your collection looks like?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on tonight. So my collection's more like 1/3 DC and then quarter scale Marvel, X-Men mainly. So, I mean,
I knew there's a reason I like you.
Right?
Yeah, well, most of my collection is just kind of, I kind of try to plan, but then the plans never happen, and I just take advantage of what kind of arises at the moment, which is kind of how I fell into my 1/3 collection.
We call that the sickness.
Yeah. It's like I grew up on X-Men and Spider-Man, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to collect those. And then just deals come up and that you can't pass up. And it's like all of a sudden, like most of my collection's 1/3. And then I'm like, okay, well, I like all this other stuff like everybody else. And I mean, geez, I think I've had to refocus probably 2 or 3 times already.
I'm the same way. I'm like, who needs a focus? Just the people that can just narrow in on one side. I'm like, there's so much stuff on both sides. Yeah, I've got a bunch of DC that I love, the statues and I love the characters and everything, but I still prefer Marvel and the X-Men. I mean, the X-Men have got to be the only way to go. So, like I said, I think that's awesome. But with your 1/3 line, is it like comic, or is it more like the Arkham game type pieces? What do you got there?
No, I'm all into the comic line.
Okay.
Like I like the Arkham games, but it was like when you were talking last week about the Deathstroke, and I was trying for the longest time to get that Deathstroke from Arkham games.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to the point to where I'm like, okay, which one do I prefer? The comic accurate one or the game? And I was like, the comic accurate one's the one that threw me down the rabbit hole.
That's a really cool thing.
I love that statue. I've been very close to getting that numerous times.
I remember
that was one that like I passed up on, and then I kicked myself for several weeks, and then a wait list converted for Sideshow. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, nope, that's just, to me, it's like, okay, it didn't take much of a push for a sign.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And which one is this?
Remember the Deathstroke?
Yeah, with Deathstroke.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you and I, Greg, if I remember correctly, you and I were gushing over the Deathstroke, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Both times I had it.
Yeah. It's a beauty. I actually have a question for Jerry and Greg, because we answered this last week. Now, if you had to and you had to focus your collection, what would it come down to? What, X-Men, Avengers, Justice League?
Hold on. What do you... I don't think I understand the question. Are you saying that, like, what is your actual focus? Or are you saying, like, if you had to...
If you had to... Yeah, if you had to focus more, let's say, we all have, little bit of everything pretty much in this group.
Right.
If you had to focus and you're running out of space and it came down to a specific genre, which would you choose? Well, we answered this last week, but
Did
Jerry
we?
and Greg, yeah.
How much did I have to drink?
I mean, I mean, we
About
don't need
as
to.
much as I had tonight, man. I'm on a different
Well,
plane.
I think I could do it
You're, Mhm.
with still kind of a broad. So what I would do is say pre-90s comic book accurate representations, and the reason I think that would work is because they are diminishing. They're getting to the point where there's very few. Most of the stuff is targeted towards people that are younger than me. So a lot of the characters are not comic accurate from pre-90s. And so I think I could focus my collection there and be like, for example, that Hulk would not fit because
No,
he's
this
kind
one?
of this guy here.
Oh shit! I'm looking at the wrong YouTube.
He's I think it's
Like trying to
after
move my
a
hand,
Mike
nothing was happening. I
Mignola
was like, what the fuck's wrong?
interpretation of Hulk. It's something that's after the 90s.
Yeah, he's got like a
Jerry.
90s cut.
Jerry, do you feel that at least, and maybe I'm just in one of those moods, it seems like they're doing so many more movie pieces than they are comic pieces. I mean, and not every piece has to be 100% comic accurate. They're going to take their liberties.
Whoa. I'm just kidding.
But it seems like so many movie pieces are coming out, and I don't care for that line.
Wait, but what other? I mean, besides Queen Studios, what other movie pieces are there? I guess
Infinity Studios is already teasing Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Oh, Infinity with their life-size bus.
Yeah, they teased that last night before the movie even started.
And
Okay.
Sideshow, they're doing the Dark Knight Nolan trilogy again.
Yeah, that's just a fucking. Yeah.
There's too many. There's too many of the Nolan trilogy. I feel like.
I think the movie stuff brings a lot of people to it, though. That's a lot of. I mean, that's kind of
It's just-
one of the topics I have written down is where does your focus come from? I think a lot of people are brought into this hobby from the movie stuff, so I don't think there's any getting away from that, and I think it will continue to increase as that is the draw to statues.
And Greg, you were saying how you grew up watching Spider-Man and X-Men, and I'm assuming you're talking about X-Men, especially the greatest cartoon ever made, despite what other Greg says. We'll call him the non-Greg while you're here.
Wait, what's his favorite cartoon?
Who, mine?
Yeah.
I grew up on G.I. Joe.
Oh, G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe's strong, man.
That-
I'm not saying it's
I'm
better,
dating
but
myself.
that's strong. At least he picked a strong, second best, right?
I'm dating myself right there. I'm like, okay, I grew up on G.I. Joe, Transformers.
But we're the same age, aren't we, Greg? I'm 41 now. You're pretty similar, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Cool.
Greg, you didn't get to answer the question about if you had to narrow your focus, where would you go?
So does this mean if you had one focus, Greg, to Missoula, are we saying if you had one focus? Because I feel like we all have like 2 or 3 focuses.
Well, that's why I'm making. That's why I wanted to ask that question and see what you guys would
But are you
pick.
saying if you had to go down to one focus?
Yeah,
What
one
would you-
focus.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I had to go down to one focus, it would probably be my Prime 1/3. I mean, that's where my eyes get drawn every time I walk down into my area. So I'm like, I recently fell into the XM pieces and I love them, but I think it's just the larger scale allows more detail.
It definitely does. The only reason I haven't gotten to 1/3 is it's just the space. It's just, I mean, everyone knows that I'm running out of space and whatnot, and it's just those 1/3 they take up massive amounts of space, massive amounts. That stroke, one of the reasons I didn't get it is just because I am running out, and I figured I can get it down the line. Like that base is monstrous.
Oh, I have the Bane versus Batman, and that.
Oh, I have that. That is one I do have, and that's huge. Huge.
That was like
I couldn't
it's
believe
like
it.
A little midget in here.
I I couldn't believe how big it was. I almost picked up. I wanted the. I think Jerry has it. The Huntress, the Prime one third Huntress, which is amazing. That actually popped up on Sideshow, the sculpted cape version.
Yeah. I keep
recently.
looking at that. That's the one that I keep
beautiful.
looking to use my reward points on.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, I
what
think we're all at the
do.
same thing. It's like, okay, you've got a couple of months left until they expire.
So do you have, Greg, a bunch of Prime 1 pre-orders at the moment? 1/3 pre-orders?
Not necessarily. So I haven't. I've been trying to clear up some of the other ones because some of the ones I keep looking at, so I'm like, yeah, I definitely need to have it on a payment plan and have all the other ones cleared up. Like everybody talks about that Prime 1 Hush Superman, and I'm like, well, I missed that one, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should get the Doomsday one, the Superman Doomsday maquette.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the one I'll keep trying to free up space.
The Prime 1, the new one?
The all black one?
No,
Yeah.
The one where Doomsday's in the ground?
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Greg, Mazzola, did I make you mod? Did it go through?
I don't know.
I know it went through for Jerry.
Well, while we have this break, Ryan, why don't you say hello to the 3 people watching in the chat?
Sweet. Hey, guys. There's 14 people watching you.
Well, I figured, half of them are us, right? 5 minus 14.
That's really actually, that's a really good point. I didn't even deduct the fucking 5. There's like 9 people in the chat. But it's all good, man. Like, the way I see it, like, I don't want to advertise in the chats. I don't want to, and actually, I'm kind of jumping around because I've had quite a few drinks. Because I want to answer Greg's question too, because I don't think I ever answered that question, Greg.
I don't think we asked it.
I
know we definitely. I'm pretty sure we answered it.
I think.
Well, maybe we got sidetracked in a different question, and we partially answered. I don't know. I could have swore Justin did for sure. Maybe I don't know. I thought we did. I don't know. Maybe maybe we were all drunk.
I would go directly. It's. I mean, that's a very good point. I probably was. But, I'd go straight X-Men.
Yeah, I thought we all said X-Men. I thought it was
probably straight Marvel is probably a better answer.
Yeah, Marvel. I would say is definitely top notch. But see, what's crazy is if I had to stick to one line, which I think Jerry he kind of did he cheated the system there with his pre-90s stuff, right? We were all expecting to say.
Well, hold on. His rules are very self-serving.
Right. We thought that he was going to say, I'd go all X-Men or all Avengers.
I mean, that's what I was kind of going for, and he just went with the broad answer. But I was like, all right.
With
but
he cheated.
I mean, so like my cap would not fit in that rule. Back in my day, cap didn't have a utility belt. Okay, so the only cap I have that would fit in that rule would be my XM, the cap with the flag. So my caps would have to go. Thor could. I think I'd have a hard time getting rid of this Thor, but I think I could justify that he could stay. But
which one?
The new
LG.
Is that 1/3 one?
The new Legendary Beast. Yeah,
that's a sick one, man.
The Franco piece.
So it would narrow quite a bit. I mean, I would be able to whittle it down quite a bit if I really stuck to that rule, which I'm not doing, by the way, Greg. So.
Jerry, do you tend to collect a lot of doubles? Or
unfortunately, I do. So that's another kind of hang up that I know some people have or rules for themselves, which is probably a good rule. But you can see 2 Thors right here behind me. I probably have I have 4 Thors. So and I don't have any problem with having 4 Thors. So I do have multiples of characters. I thought about maybe getting. Maybe going that route and trying to pick the very best and then get rid of all the duplication. But that's hard too.
Yeah, for sure.
I could tell you I have 0 rules and I have numerous doubles.
Chris is
all aware of that.
Greg,
well, just in case anyone wasn't aware, I have probably at least like fucking 15 Wolverines.
Wow, you 15? I didn't know you had 15 Wolverines.
I mean, I don't know the real count, but it's in that ballpark for sure.
14 of them are still in the box.
No, Wolverine's my
ever
favorite,
seen
so a lot of Wolverines are out.
No, that's
'Cause
cool.
there's 2 of them behind him.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Is there 2 or just 1? Oh yeah.
No, I got the
Wolverine, yeah, I got you.
phase 2
Okay, I
and
only saw one. Yeah.
XM.
Right.
I love
Yeah,
the XM
I
Weapon
have
X.
I have 4 Wolverines in this amount of space above my head. Let's see here. So yeah, I think I have a few of him too.
I've got 3 Wolverines and 1 bust, so I guess 4 Wolverines.
I have 5 that I can see just by 6.
I think that's the one thing that saves me because I'm still kind of a new collector. So it's like I haven't gone down that rabbit hole of like, okay, I have all the pieces that I want. Now, what are the new what characters are coming out that I'll have double of?
Yeah. See, I'm kind of the same way, like how you were saying, how you try to keep a focus some way, and then you see a deal that's just too good to pass up, right? Because I would say probably half of my collection I got off of eBay, and I paid less than retail. And not that I didn't love that piece, because every piece I have in my collection I love. But it was one of those, I wanted it not as, not at that right moment. I knew I wanted to get it later down the road, but it was such a great deal that I couldn't pass it up, that I had to get it then. So I totally understand focus kind of going out the window pretty quick.
Right.
But when you I'll try to backtrack here. When you were saying how you grew up with the X-Men and Spider-Man cartoons type stuff, or for your collection, did you grow up reading comics, or did you grow up with the watching the cartoons and that's kind of your first love for it?
No, I grew up with the comics.
Okay.
I was a comic kid, so that's basically how I learned to read. I had all kinds that I read, but
I'm still learning, so congratulations on the early learning.
He's almost there.
that's what I like about the bubbles. I mean, you can there's only so many words that can fit into a bubble.
Exactly.
So, but I grew up all Marvel. So, and then I stopped when basically I graduated high school and went to college and stuff like that. And then I finally got to a point where I could pick it back up, and it was like, okay, where do you pick it back up in Marvel?
Right.
Because they keep going, and DC seems to reboot every 3 years. So I jumped in on that, and I started reading like Batman, everything Batman. And
Jerry loves that. Jerry loves the whole reboot. He loves when characters die and they come back. That's one of his favorite things.
Yeah, that's his favorite thing.
I love how he instigates Jerry.
Yeah, he's pretty good at pushing buttons.
I just want to bring out his inner Jerry. Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah, back in my day, and that was one of the things. These guys know I rant about this all the time, but that was kind of the Marvel mantra. That was once somebody was dead, they were dead, and they didn't bring people back until Phoenix Jean Grey thing in the mid '80s.
Yeah,
and then they really opened up the floodgates in the '90s with. They brought back all of the cosmic people, Thanos and Adam Warlock and the cast of characters.
Well, then don't read the current X-Men now.
Right.
Oh, is it bad?
Oh, it's they can't die anymore because they could just be reincarnated.
Oh, right, because they can be reincarnated.
Yeah.
With Krakoa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was pretty cool. How and they have to confirm.
Cool, but it's a tight. It's a pretty.
They have to confirm that the mutant's actually dead before they say, "Hey, we're going to do this clone of you" and type stuff. So I thought, I see its negative sides, but I thought it was pretty cool how they,
It's cool at first, but it gives them an out to be like, "Oh, we'll just fucking do the fuck we want."
Yeah, exactly right. Like, how cocky would you be if you knew if you died, okay, they're just going to clone you, and then Xavier's going to transfer your mind, or it's pretty much they've got a bank of memories that they just do every so often. That's nuts.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, ATV's got a question. It says, "Can the panel share their next piece that will arrive in their collection?"
Ooh, I'll go first. Custom red hood. Sorry, I really fucked that up. Custom red hood coming in on Monday for me.
Wow.
Looking forward to it.
Red Hood. Me and to hijack this question, maybe that's why we don't remember Greg's question from last week, but I think it was me and Danny on another show. We're going back and forth about Red Hood and about how Red Hood is cool, but Jason Todd, when he's not Red Hood, he is such a little.
He's a fucking
bitch.
little bitch. Yeah, it's like shut up and be dead and be risen again, man.
Right?
Fuck,
Stop.
you suck. Yeah.
It's like he brings up constantly about Joker beating him up and him being left for dead.
It's like nobody cares. Just
get
fucking
over it,
come
man.
back. Yeah. Yeah, don't be a bitch.
So Jerry, you go ahead.
Okay, so I just got, and I haven't even. It came while I was out of town. I just got back in town. I just got in a custom Franco Thor. So I actually have 5 Thors. So I forgot about this one. But it's a kit, so it needs to go out for painting.
Mhm.
But on the high seas, I have the Prime 1 Hush Batcave coming.
Oh, the upright one. Yeah.
I thought you weren't going to get that. You hated the cross stitching and everything.
I do hate it, but
Welcome back.
I
hate it, but I got it.
Well, it wasn't really apparent when I started the payments on the thing. So I kept paying it, and then as more pictures showed up, I started loathing it a little bit more, so I have this love-hate relationship with it. And then I didn't cancel it in time to get out of it.
Before, I don't want to get off topic, but real quick with that Batman, do you like that one better than the Fabok Batman that they showed?
Well, so that was also I mean, I like the Fabok also, but they also did that cross hatching thing on the Fabok Batman.
So you're talking about the stitching on the suit is what's pissing you off?
No, it's like how artists use line work to show a shadow. That's what they did that on the statue. It's
like how they did on Nightwing. I think you and I had
like they did on Nightwing, and I'm not getting Nightwing. But
I canceled it not for that reason, but yeah,
that was disappointing, and then it was a shifting gears in the middle of the line. None of the other Hush figures are like that. It's just the Batman and then the Nightwing. So I'm kind of disappointed.
I like that. Like, I didn't grow up watching the cartoon Transformers. I knew of them, so when the movies came out, I knew who all the characters were. Somehow, I don't know. Maybe I did watch it, and my parents gave me alcohol to go to sleep. But with all the Transformers statues that have come out, the one where they painted it a certain way to make it look like it is the cartoon.
Oh, the PCS ones?
Yeah, that's my favorite ones.
What do they call it? It's not cell shading, is it?
Cell shading.
Is it still? Okay.
Yeah, that stuff's not for me. I buy a 3D statue because I want it to look 3D. I don't want you to take my 3D statue and try to make it look 2D.
Right,
well, Jerry,
I have comic books for that.
Jerry, minus the cell shading and stuff like that. Do you prefer your statues to look more realistic? Like, do you want it to look like a miniature person standing there, or do you still want it to have that somewhat cartoony or comic feel?
Yeah, I like a mixture of both. So I like some texturing. I do like some of it to look real, but I also want classic costume, classic colors. Like, so the LBS Thor, there's detail around the armor plates on it. I love that. It looks fantastic. It's but you're not going to see that in a comic book. They're not going to take the time to draw it in. So I'm kind of in the middle of that. I don't want it to look Alex Ross, and no offense to the Alex Ross lovers out there, but when Alex Ross does paintings, it looks like a bunch of old fat men dressed up as superheroes to me. That's not that's not my game.
They look fat, but they look bulky for sure.
Yeah, they look old. They look it's painted right before retirement, right? Like they're
definitely middle aged.
Yeah, they're about to end it.
I resent that.
I wish I was middle aged.
I'm 41 now, dude. I'm old as shit.
Jerry likes the the OG costumes, like the Jim Lee Cyclops and stuff.
Yeah, Jim Lee is a hell of an artist. I loved Hush. I read it, and I just read it recently. And I mean, he's he's a great artist, but I'm going to cause some enemies on this one. He is terrible at costume design. That guy needs to stay away from costume design.
You think he's terrible?
Terrible.
You don't think you did a good job on Gambit?
No, but there was collaboration there on Gambit, I think. Didn't one of Joe Kubert's sons have something to do with that?
I think he drew it. I don't think he created it, though, if I remember correctly from...
Gambit's okay, but why does he have metal boots? If you're a thief, why would you be running around with metal
honestly,
boots
he's
on?
a B-level character at best. You heard me, Sean. I fucking said it. Sean, he's a B-level character.
Is Sean watching?
Sean Landauer.
We just lost a viewer for life.
Okay, look, Gambit's from the
I love
South.
Sean.
Why is he wearing a friggin' trench coat? If you've ever been to the South, you're not going to run around in a trench coat.
How can you be that agile with metal boots? Like, that's just like
And
putting
if
cement
you're a
on-
thief, you're not going to wear metal boots. They'll hear
No,
you coming
that
a
would make
mile
you an
away.
idiot.
Maybe he gets cold.
But metal's not going to keep you warm.
Yeah, so no, Gambit wouldn't be one of my choices to illustrate Jim Lee's quality in costume design.
Do you like the way he draws Wonder Woman?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of his stuff in Wonder Woman, but I think so.
There's a pause there that I was not particularly fond of.
So Greg 2.0, what is your opinion on it? Do you prefer it to be more realistic, or are you kind of like Jerry, how you want that perfect blend of the two, or just the cross stitching on certain pieces does it drive you nuts?
Not really. I prefer more like comic accurate. So I don't like the real life portrayals that they try to do nowadays. I mean, I appreciate them, but I'm like, I won't ever own one. So I mean, mine are all comic accurate. So
How accurate does it have to be for you?
I was never an artist, so I'm like,
Me neither. Far.
I just appreciate the work that's into them. So
Well, the reason I asked is it has to be enough for me to, like the XM Omega Red. Do you have that one?
yes, I do.
Yeah. So like the ponytail portrait, that reminds me close enough to Jim Lee's original concept that that satisfies it for me. So like, what I'm saying is it like in the Prime One Deathstroke, it reminds me enough of I guess it's Tony Daniel's cover.
Yeah.
That I'm satisfied, stuff like that. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, that's where I lie. So
like, are you going through it and being like, oh man, the shoulder pads are slightly different?
No,
Not that there's anything
no,
wrong with that, because I have friends who are like that too. I'm sure that many of us still know, but okay.
No, I've actually I analyze the statues, but I don't analyze it to the point that I'm looking for something that I'm not going to like.
Well, it's funny because, having said what I said, when I look at characters who are some of my more favorite ones, like Psylocke or Colossus or Apocalypse or Sinister, I've noticed that I'm more cynical about them to that point, where it's like, oh shit, this doesn't look right. This kind of fucks it up for me, You know what I mean? Like, and I'm we all know who I'm referring to, who's very particular about it. But I've noticed that, the more I've collected, that I'm kind of similar with that aspect to certain pieces, Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, because I did that because I got the
really drawn out. Did I fuck this up?
But way to ruin a great moment, Ryan.
I mean, I'm just being real.
Because I kind of did it with. I started over analyzing the XM Sabretooth because I got that in a couple of weeks back. And I wasn't necessarily impressed by it because I felt like he was looking down, and I couldn't find that angle that I wanted because I don't have him up high like you do. I don't have the ceiling space to put it on a third shelf.
But he's got to look pretty good for mid too, I would think.
I had a hard time because I guess
put him on a riser too. That may help, but I'm with
you. Because the vision that I had, like when I started, because I have him, Omega Red, and the XM Wolverine, and I had them on a shelf together, and I was like, I wanted a certain scene that I thought I saw in my head, and then when I started putting them up, I was like, it's not creating that picture, and I'm like, it's not looking right.
Right.
So average D, Greg, how do you feel about it as far as comic accurate or realistic? I mean, I guess
Has Big D been downgraded? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, he is not. Justin's drunk. He was confused. No, I mean, I'm pretty much gonna say what everyone else was saying. I like a little mixture of both. I love texture on my statues. I think it just adds to it, and and also to answer another question that we've been going through, like as far as like comic accurate and stuff. For me, I'm not a big comic reader. I do collect the CGCs, but I didn't like growing up. Like, yes, I would. Yes, I would read. Comics a little bit, but I was never huge into it. I was big into all the cartoons and all that. I would watch all the cartoons and everything, and that's what we kind of answered last week. That's what got me into statue collecting. That and my dad, growing up, he was a collector as well. So as far as comic accuracy with statues, it's important to me, but it's not like the end of the world. If I could tell that this is this character, that's good enough for me. Like, I'll give you an example, XM Gambit. Some people had problems with that one. Whether it was the face or, the X buttons or whatever, Like, for me, I know that's still Gambit, That's not it. Like, those little things, like certain little things like X buttons or something like that won't bother me.
No, me neither. You know that, though. We've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Like, so, as long as I know it's the character, I don't mind a few, innovative or whatever you want to call it, artistic,
Yeah, artistic liberties.
Yeah, liberties. Like, that's fine with me. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So
Greg, obviously we're about the same age, so we both. I grew up with my love for the X-Men from the cartoon also before I started reading comics. Do you struggle collecting a Wolverine that's not in that yellow costume, that tiger stripe costume? Like, is it a brown Wolverine harder to love because?
Yes. Yeah, it is. I definitely favor the yellow because of the cartoon.
I was the same boat, but once I started reading, but what's funny is when I was reading Wolverine, he changes to the brown suit with no reason. He's just like, hey,
unceremoniously.
He's like, if other people can do it, why not? And
yeah. I mean, I don't, I do have some brown, but if it came down to it, I'm choosing the yellow for sure. But yeah, definitely because of the cartoon, my love for the cartoon, and that's what I grew up with. The yellow will always be my favorite of the bunch.
I grew up with the brown. So, I mean, the comics at the time, it was the brown. So,
yeah.
And I mean, that was just because to me, he wore the brown because he didn't want to fit into the uniforms that they like to put the X-Men in. So,
Also, to answer ATV's question, because we went off track a little bit on it, of statues coming in. So mine's a little different because I just got 3 statues in recently. Haven't opened them yet. Haven't had time with work and all that, and working over 50 hours a week and whatnot. So I got in XM Green Lantern. I got in.
So when you say you haven't opened them, what state are they still in?
They're in my house right now. So in the boxes right now. I haven't had the motivation to open them yet.
Greg,
so,
do you ever grab the wrong box thinking that it's something else since you've got so many boxes with statues in them?
It's actually a legit question, to be honest.
It is actually a legit question. So here's the thing, like, all right, so 2 boxes came in the same day pretty much, and I was like, I had no idea what it was. Like, I mean, I had an idea, but like I didn't know like some of these arrived this quick or from boat because I've been going boat because the shipping prices are outrageous. I can't afford to pay DHL when I have a bunch of pre-orders dropping, whatever it is now, $7 to $1,000 or whatever on DHL to get it to me in 3 days, 3 or 5 days. So I've been going boat, and I kind of lose track of what statues are coming and whatnot. So I got 2 boxes in recently, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't even know what I got here. And so I figured it out anyway, but it was to answer the question, NMK Wolverine versus Sabretooth. I got the XM Green Lantern. That one I knew because it says it on the box. And I have the LL Beast vs Sentinel that just came in. So those are my latest 3. If we're talking about that haven't arrived, that will be next to arrive is probably Omega Red Custom that a lot of people haven't handled yet. But
That
mine was
Franco one.
no, the other Omega Red Custom.
Okay.
That
The
one,
one-
that
the
one, a
one
bunch
that
of
took-
people. Yeah,
Wait,
The one that took 10 years to make.
the custom, the expensive one.
yeah, that one. Yeah, because there was a few there was
You got
like I
that
think.
and Franco and
No, I didn't get Franco's. I didn't get Franco's. I just got that one, and I have the XM one.
You went with the one that's got 37 different portraits.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, a lot of people had that one. Have that one hand. If you were the first batch, I was the second batch. So it should be arriving hopefully soon.
Okay.
My brother actually got it before me. I almost broke his.
But I mean, it's just next door, so can you just go over there and pretend?
Broke his because he had it before you.
Yeah, I can't have that.
Are you the older one?
Yeah.
That's rough for him.
So
Greg, do
he
you
runs
do
over next
customs?
door and takes him off the front porch.
You're saying you show him the Big League?
Greg, I think Jerry, did you ask?
Yeah, Greg,
do you do customs?
I have done a couple, and I have actually.
Which
my
ones?
next-
Just kidding. Don't
I have
It'll get you in trouble. Don't answer. I'm just joking.
the next one I have coming in is the one I've been waiting on. It's the Spider-Man and Symbiote one.
Oh, with the Carnage.
Spider-Man and symbiote.
I mean,
or
the
Spider-Man and
Venom symbiote coming around the front.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I like
I forgot about that one.
I actually like that one.
I was lucky enough to pick that one up, and I'm just waiting on how much it's going to be for shipping.
More than the statue.
That's actually one of my most anticipated. But what other ones you have coming? Or if you
Well,
could describe.
the one I've been trying to free up funds for is that Prime 1 Huntress. When you guys were talking about it last week, I damn near almost ordered it. So
dude, it's so good. I almost did too, and I was like, "Where am I going to put this thing? What are you doing?"
I think that's the best Huntress statue out there.
And what's bad is I
one of the
want the
best
sculpted
female
cape, and
statues.
I'm like, that thing makes it twice as wide for the sculpted
Yeah.
cape.
Yeah.
I was tempted. I seen it pop up on Sideshow again, and I'm like, sculpt the cape. I'm like, oh, $1,000. They gave me like $25 off, even though it's like, oh, that's gonna just cover fucking shipping or tax or whatever.
Yeah.
Not even.
Yeah,
But,
because I got
I
both
was-
of them on there right now, and
I
I'm
was-
like,
Yeah.
it'll be
It's-
one of those things to where I probably push it off until I see
Need
it
some more
say
alcohol.
low stock, and then all of a sudden I'll start jumping at it.
If I had space, I probably would have gotten it. But I know I can't display it right now.
That thing went out of stock at Sideshow, and then I had it waitlisted, and then I got some kind of crazy deal on it during one of their celebration events. It came back in stock, and I had I think I had a coupon for $100 off.
Oh, jeez.
So,
Yeah, because that's the one I've been looking at, waiting or wanting to get that one since basically because I had it on wait list and it converted and I didn't buy it, and then now it's in stock and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to grab it. So
it's nice.
I'm curious in the chat if they haven't already listed the people in the chat. What is everybody else's next pieces to come in? Like I have changed my focus where I'm more in the reading, and I've only got one pre-order, and it's the Harley Quinn bust, the comic one. Now, not to say that I'm not constantly searching eBay, so something may come in from eBay that I find or on the different Facebook groups. But as far as what's coming in for me, I mean that's it at the moment. I know I want to order Scarlet Witch, the new Sideshow one. But I mean, that's like I said, that's pretty much it. But Greg, so new Greg, not old Greg. So going back to what you were saying, how you were looking at pieces to pair them up to tell a story. Is that how you like to for the most part do your collection? Is each shelf tells a story?
with the quarter scales, I tend to try to have as much of kind of a scene as you can have for like quarter scales. Because I mean, the third scales are just basically they're their own
Right. They're
shelf.
huge. Yeah, they're massive.
Yo, I'm still jealous of that. Fucking, you have Poison Ivy and Bane, right? From Prime 1?
Yep, and the Bermejo Joker and Batman Who Laughs.
There's nothing to show off, but
I'll say that Poison Ivy I think is the best Poison Ivy. I might say that's the best female statue I've ever.
I need to travel to Greg's to hang out. And
New Greg, not old Greg. Who wants to go to old Greg and see a bunch of boxes?
Evolved Greg, obviously.
See, Ryan's gonna.
I've never heard the word old before. What does that mean?
You should YouTube old Greg. It's a funny skit.
Maybe
Actually, I heard about that skit. I remember when that was popular, like when I was in high school.
Right.
See, Arch, I would have agreed with you. Ryan's gonna hate it all the way up till probably about a month ago. I got that XM Emma Frost, and she's
Just some background.
Gorgeous.
I passed on it from a common friend that Greg and I have, and Greg ended up getting it. There's nothing. I'm not pissed at all, dude. Pissed at myself. Never pissed at you. Don't worry about that. And actually, I'm actually pretty satisfied with the sideshow one. At least that's what I tell myself at night, right?
Hey, I like the sideshow one. I don't think it's as bad as everybody.
With the exclusive, it's strong.
Right. And I display it with the exclusive. If I didn't have the exclusive, it's not worth it.
I knew there was a reason we were meant for each other. I do the same thing.
Yeah. Exclusive or don't get it. That's the only
The exclusive is the one with the blue lips?
Blue lips and shorter hair, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you have it, Greg? Whatever your name is, Jerry? Sorry.
No, I didn't. I was gonna get it, and I kept waiting. And Sideshow. I think they even had it on free shipping for a while, and I kept putting it off, saying, "It'll never sell out. It'll never sell out," and then it sold out.
So you don't have any Emma?
I don't have any Emma, but also I would like to get Emma as the White Queen. So if I go back to my theme, she has to be the White Queen. She can't be in an X-Men costume.
So Jerry, speaking of the White Queen, I desperately would love, and I'm sure Customs would have to do it. Nobody else would ever do it. I want when Emma puts her mind, she switches minds with Storm, and then Storm dresses like the White Queen. I mean, she's got the fur and everything. I loved that in the comics so bad. I was like, that right there.
Read that. What storyline is that?
It's in the late 140s, I think, 150s.
Yep.
You're digging
That's
deep.
Right
You're
after,
digging deep.
But right after Days of Future Past?
Yeah, it's probably 2 years after
Days of Future Past, like 141, I thought.
And just so
year after.
Old Greg knows that it was Kitty Pryde that went back, not Wolverine. That's a different show. That's a totally different show we're going to have.
Didn't that make less sense?
Wow. My mind is blown. Can't believe it.
Didn't that make less sense?
No.
What, with Wolverine going back?
But less sense than... No, I should say. It still made no sense, but it made...
I mean, yeah, either way, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But anyways. So, while we're on the comic topic here,
hey,
are there characters, there's a lot of characters... How dare you, Therapy? I swear, I'm going to backhand Chris if I ever meet him. He constantly brings up the Mohawk Storm, which is the worst one. But, so there are a lot of characters that have been on, bad side and good side. Are there characters out there for y'all that you would prefer them to go one side or the other? Like Rogue, she started out bad, because obviously Mystique was her stepmother type thing. And then she became good. Venom. We've seen him as a Venom or a bad guy. We've kind of seen him as a good, whether it be in comics or movies. Magneto, I don't know if you could kind of put in that category because it's it's not so much he's good or evil. It's just he wants mutants to rule the world. And if he crosses that line, it doesn't really matter.
right.
And even in the movies, Mystique is, they keep, in the new movies anyways, they put her as on the good side. Is there
That
characters
pissed me off, man.
Yeah, right. I mean, is there characters that you hated that they did that? Was there ones that switch sides that you wish would switch back, or especially you, Jerry, you being the pre-90s? I would love.
Right.
Is there certain Jerry got his first comic on a tablet of stone, right? And,
Moses made it for him.
I bought Action 1 off the newsstand.
It was a wild time during World War One.
But especially Jerry, I would love to know, are there like, I know you hate when characters die and come back, but do you hate when a character starts off good or bad and they switch sides?
I never really thought about it that much. Yeah, I'd have to put some thought into that because, I mean, the good guys, I certainly don't want to see them become bad guys. But I can't think of other than the reference to the White Queen. But that's more just because that's the nostalgic, that's the White Queen that I read through. I never saw her as a hero, so I would rather have her as the White Queen. I didn't
mind her as floating a little bit.
Hey Ryan, can you add PJ?
Oh, is he in? Oh shit! I'm sorry. Fucking wait, he's not in here.
Oh, he said here.
God damn it, PJ.
I was 2 minutes too late.
What did he say in the chat?
Jerry.
Or Messenger?
He was in the chat, but on our private chat on the side there, he said here.
The fuck is that? Okay.
Maybe it didn't really happen. Maybe I've had too much strength. But Jerry, please
I think
continue.
so.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't think I really have a strong opinion one way or another for where I can think of a character that that switch sides and I would rather see them on the other side.
Well, like I'll say with Rogue, I'm glad that she's on the good side now. But when she beat the hell out of the Avengers, right? I mean, she had the power of Captain America. She already had the power or the thought process, the military background of Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. And then she easily took down Thor. I mean,
yeah.
When it's not that she had, like in the movies.
Rogue took down Thor, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the movies, it kind of shows where she could only handle one person's power at a time. But in the comics, she had multiple. Like they were stacked. Cap,
right.
And Thor, Captain Marvel. I mean, she was pretty unstoppable at that time, and she was, to me, she was so badass at that moment. It's kind of like how, and Jerry's kind of talked me through it with Wolverine. How I prefer the Wolverine spinoff comic because he's so much more badass. He's so he's not held back, but Uncanny, he was developing, so he was kind of tamed down. So I think a lot of times these characters, when they first start out, they can't go, full extreme because they got to build somewhat. But what about old Greg? Do you have a character that you've seen from a movie or anything that you saw them go both sides that you wish they would go to one or the other?
That is a tough question. I mean, if we're just talking anti-heroes in general and stuff like that, I guess, I've always liked Magneto just in between that line and whatnot, or maybe Venom. Those would be my guys that I would choose as far as that. And is Magneto now in the comics? Isn't he pretty much full? I mean, I don't know. Maybe Greg, you keep up. Is Magneto full on X-Men now in that white costume? Like, is he full on good guy?
Yes.
They are all. They've come to.
He's on trial right now, right?
No, not yet. That hasn't started yet.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
They've all come to the conclusion that they've created their own mutant island. It's a mutant nation now.
Utopia.
Yeah, so basically they all have a set of rules that if they want to live there and live in basic peace and harmony, they got to abide by these. So it's
and on that note, I love when they asked Namor to be on that panel, and he was like, until you admit that we're far superior than humans, you can pretty much go fuck off. I'm not going to be on your panel here.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty badass.
What's with the bullshit with him being the first mutant versus Apocalypse? Because first off, it was Apocalypse as the first mutant, and then later on, it was like Namor is the first mutant, and they retconned him to being mutant. It was kind of like, what?
Well, is that retcon or is that just actual timeline?
So
I mean,
thought
in
it was
real
retcon,
time, there was no
both,
Apocalypse pre-1980. That's all retcon that he actually existed.
Well, wait, it's not retcon that it's not retconned, right? Because he was never a character back then. Is that still? I thought it's retconned as if they rewrite someone's history. If the person didn't exist, then they're not retconning, right? Unless
But if they're calling him the first ever mutant and he never existed before,
but they never
X
called
Factor number
Namor.
6.
But they never called Namor the first mutant until after Apocalypse, is what I'm getting at, and they already declared.
So did they change Namor's origin, because his origin was his his father was a human and his mother was an Atlantean. Has that been changed?
I'm still playing catch up, so I don't know.
I don't know. I never followed Namor. I was never a fan of his character. But it's like now it's like it seems like they're trying to figure out where they're putting him. It's like he's king of Atlantis, but they don't do anything under the water. He used to be an Avenger. Now he doesn't do anything with them. So it's like now it seems like they're trying to pigeonhole him into, okay, you're a mutant, so be part of the X-Men now.
Yeah. Which I know he's gone kind of both sides. Like when I was reading Stan Lee's Fantastic Four, they find him in a bar and he's like, oh my goodness, that's Namor. But Namor, he doesn't remember who he is because all his people and everything were pretty much blown up, and the explosion caused him to forget who he is, forget his memory. So he forgot who he was and was like a nobody until Fantastic Four find him and like, you're Namor. You gotta remember. And then he starts to remember who he is, and then he's like, I do remember now. I'm gonna fuck you guys up. You're the problem. I'm going to fight you now. So then, he was the bad guy at the time. So it's quite funny how they, like I said, they just switch on a dime. Rather, I guess the point of view, what side you're either good or you're bad. Like I would love for there to be a Spider-Man comic, and there may have been, I just haven't found it yet, a Spider-Man run where it's the point of view from all the the Sinister Six. Where it's like they're trying to make a living, and they're struggling, and then because Spider-Man's doing his thing, trying to save people, but he busts their house, they can't afford it, so then they have to steal. Like I would love to see it where it's kind of you pick the villain side to be like, oh well, Spider-Man is a dick. I understand why they did that. I would love to see a twist on it. That, as far as I know, I don't think it exists, and I'm sure Marvel is listening and they're going to do it now, and I'm going to get some kind of payoff on it.
Isn't that basically the first Spider-Man movie with what's his name? The new Spider-Man, the one with Vulture, Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I guess it kind of is. And even Sandman, he ended up doing it because his daughter was sick or struggling or whatnot. So I guess they've kind of done a little bit of it, but I wanted it to be my idea. Thanks, New Greg, for taking that from me.
And props for taking that from me.
Justin's like, damn, I wanted to sound smart.
We all become adults and start getting on the sides of the bad guys anyway.
So if I can jump in here, I'm curious, and these are questions. I love asking this question, and if it annoys you, then answer it anyway, and I'm sorry. But if you have to pick, because Greg, how many statues you got? Cool Greg, not Mozilla. No, seriously though, but both Gregs, you guys have quite a few statues, right? You have over 20 statues, right?
Yeah, I'm about 20.
All right, cool. So top 5 statues. You can't ever sell them. The house is burning. You can theoretically pick 5, not to resell, but just your 5 favorite statues at this moment in time.
Prime one.
I can go first to give you time to do it too, or I can throw it to Jerry since he seems like
I can
have the answer.
Jerry's probably got to take longer anyway. He's got to go through his whole house trying to figure this one
he's
out.
Like,
I got one room.
He puts us on the live camera or some shit.
I would go Prime 1 Poison Ivy, Prime 1 Deathstroke, Prime 1 Bane.
Wow.
XM Emma.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's XM
really
Emma.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So do they mean more to you because you paid more?
He isn't at number 5 yet. You fuck. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I'm just curious because they're obviously very expensive pieces. I was just curious if money has a part in what's your favorite because they are so much more expensive
I
than.
think the XM ones might be more expensive after shipping, to be honest.
No, these were all ones that like were like kind of my first ones that drew me deep into collecting. So these were the ones that I kicked myself for missing or not thinking I was going to ever get, and then when I got them, it was just it's not the money aspect. It's the they were the ones that I think if I'd missed them, they would have been the ones that I'd have been kicking myself for years.
Gotcha. What about you, Jerry?
Okay, let's see. LBS Thor. Prime 1 Swamp Thing. Prime 1 Hush Superman. Franco's Wolverine Logan Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
One more. Huh. Yeah.
It's one you definitely have to think on because I remember when Brian was talking about it, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna have to go and look around," and because my idea of my top is constantly changing.
Probably DK3 by Prime 1 or.
Oh, that's strong.
Yeah.
Folks, do you have that one?
No, I don't.
You fucked up.
I-
The only one that I have.
I got the Hush Batman and
The upright or kneeling?
the kneeling
Yeah, me too.
And-
The black or blue?
blue.
Yeah, me too, dude.
So
I like
and-
blue.
That's a strong one too, dude. No offense.
yeah, and I'm like, there's too many Batmans out there, and Prime 1's notorious for
Fuck ton.
making a million of them, and I'm like, all I need is one. I'm like, I want all the villains and those more than
Sorry,
anything
PJ.
else.
I got PJ back. Sorry, buddy. I
Hey,
missed you before.
EJ,
no, it's not a problem. Hey, sorry, I just got out of work, so I'm coming home. Yeah, Ryan, I'll show you. You can actually, there's a way to turn on something in StreamYard, so when someone jumps in the back room, you can actually hear like a notification. I'll show
Oh,
you later.
really? I'll look through it. It must be under notifications.
it wouldn't matter
Yeah.
who at this point. Ryan's had so much to drink. It could have been fireworks, and he still would have missed it.
Yeah, I was in the background. I was like,
That's
I don't think they could. Let me.
Play a sound when a guest enters. That's what I need. There you go.
So
Yes.
PJ,
Yo.
now that you're here, what is your top 5 in your collection?
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
can't
God.
sell them. They're your favorite pieces. You have to keep them. Which 5 would you pick? Like, because I hate when people are like, "Oh, I get the fucking XM Hulkbuster, then resell it, and then buy all my favorites back." It's like, man, fuck you for being a dipshit and not answering the question correctly. You know? Or maybe that's just me being a dick.
Yeah, I do have a top 5 that I wouldn't sell. First of all, I do have a statue of what's that called? Barbie. When the first Barbie that ever got released, I'm just kidding.
I don't think
Mouse
it's
Um,
you.
Now he's got the
Yeah,
Ken.
that would be super creepy.
I feel like if you're-
Yeah, so I do. So my very, very first statue, which just like got me into the game, and it was like a birthday gift, sort of like a birthday gift from my wife, is the Empire Strikes Back premium format Boba Fett. And that one I will never sell. I think just to me, just because it's just like it holds like a sentimental value. The fact that statue got me into where I am right now with talking to you guys about statues, right? Collecting.
Is that the one where he's sliding? I'm sorry to interrupt. Is that the one where he's sliding down the thing like that matches the Jenga one, or is that the one where he's just upright and Tatooine? I'm guessing the former, right?
Sliding down,
Sliding down. Okay.
like that matches the Django Fett. Yeah.
Okay. And that's the older one, right? The more original
every-
one, if I remember
No,
correctly.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, so
Right.
basically, that one is.
Nope.
Yeah, so that one is definitely something I would never sell. I would definitely never sell the Mythos Vader. That one is just going to be like, I just think that's just like such a epic piece, and yeah, that one is. Oh my gosh, jeez, what else would I
think
sell?
that's my favorite. That's my favorite Star Wars piece. That version of Vader, and the way that it was painted, so you can see like the reflection of the lava and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's just one of those things where it just like if you're obviously if you're a Vader fan, Anakin fan, it just means a lot because you could feel and see the turmoil with that statue, right? Like
Right.
you could see and feel the pain of like what Anakin or Vader is going through. So I think that piece is definitely up there. Oh my gosh. See, it's so hard. Like, that's what she said. Oh my goodness. That's what she said again.
Oh my god, you're so good at this.
Are we on after hours? What's going on here?
I'm getting a
That's
little
awesome.
excited
Okay,
right now.
now,
This
I
wasn't
don't
supposed
know.
to happen this soon.
I don't know
Let
what
me tell my
happened,
daughter to
guys.
go
Well, with Greg, it's always going to happen that soon.
Which
Let's
Greg?
see.
I mean, now you got double Greg. I mean, double trouble, right?
You guys know
Yeah.
Greg is G Fulks, G space FULKS in the chats.
I
Get the hell out of here! No way.
Yeah, like he's been. I was just gonna say, I was like, you guys know that, right? Like, because I thought I said it, but I wasn't sure if I said it to everyone.
You
I was like,
didn't tell it to me, but I was piecing it together. I assumed with Greg, and he was talking
Yeah,
about.
like you see him in the BCS, and what other? You've been in DCX open mic.
He's
before
everywhere.
too, right, Greg?
I've been on it a couple of times when I can catch them.
Yeah, it's hard to catch them live, and sometimes they're really late. I got you.
Yeah. I think Rogue, in terms of just going to mix it up here, Rogue definitely is one of those statues that like is like, yeah, like I wouldn't sell her. Like, there's been times where I've been tempted. I'm like, oh man, like she's going for a lot, just especially for the EX set. I'm like, nah. Like, I'm like, because it's such a dynamic piece, man. Like, that's just like the fact that that piece is showing like that she's levitating, and you're like, whoa, this is like so cool.
It's huge.
Yeah, that's what she said. But
Right. Or is that what he said?
or maybe that's what he said. That's what Arch said last night. Oh,
Right.
It depends on if it's Thanksgiving, so all the family's over, or maybe a different
Is
time.
this a family event or?
So going back to
But who else hasn't gone though with the top 5?
I have
wait, hold on. I got 2 more. Iron Studios Vader,
Okay.
and oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Jeez.
Apologize.
Damn it. Like I'm trying to think. Like shoot, I'm trying to think of my collection right now. Like
I mean, PJ's got.
I bet it's one of the
Vaders.
Rancors.
yeah, the
Hopefully
Rancor,
the
yeah.
sideshow one over the other one.
Ooh.
I don't know. I see the things. Yeah, I mean the Rancor. Yeah, I mean I could probably sell that, to be honest. Like I love
The
those
sideshow
pieces.
one or the Regal Robot?
If I don't know.
Do you
shoot, 'cause
still
it
have
depends.
those?
Yeah, I still have them.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
both,
sell
yeah.
them. But I'm just thinking, like in the long run, like because
Gotcha.
there's more pieces coming out now. Like, would I sell one to get the other one?
Gotcha.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Your house is burning down, right? I mean, this is awful. This is. I mean, the worst transition, right? Your
Your
house
Yeah.
is
shit's
burning
on
down.
fire.
You can theoretically, someone can only take a 5th statue. What is it? This is my attempt to make it easier for you, which may not be the case.
Yeah, I'll probably pick the Regal Robot just because
Oh, that's
I'm like, yo, shoot, this thing is fucking $3,000 plus it's like the
Well, no, you can't consider the value.
okay. No, I'll probably get the
I'll
Regal
mean it.
Robot.
If
I
it
mean,
still makes sense, and that's cool.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
Regal Robot. Yeah, definitely.
Dope.
I think I'm done. That's it.
Ark, did you go? Wait, so Greg went.
Old Greg
Right.
didn't go, did you?
New
No, I
Greg
didn't
went.
go.
Right. Cooler Greg went. DJ went.
Let's just skip old Greg's. Like,
No, old Greg, you go first. Cause
it's a lot easier to kick a bunch of boxes while your house is on fire, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so does it really matter?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be stress testing the second time, right? At this point.
This is Greg's last night to come on the show. He will now give us thumbs down.
This is tough.
He's just being nice. He's gonna get us next show, I bet.
So obviously, number one would be Phase 1. Phase 2, actually. I'm sorry. Phase 2 Wolverine.
Do you have Phase 1 as well?
I don't. I was never. I mean, it was a nice. Phase 1's nice, but I mean, I love this XM Weapon X. I think it's one of their best pieces they've ever made. The water effect and everything, camera doesn't pick it. If you see it in person, like the water effect is impressive. Like it's in the bottom of the tank and everything. It looks amazing. The whole statue is amazing.
The pose of Phase 1 is what really kills me. But I think
Franco's... it's so animalistic.
Franco's with the arms crossed.
Okay, yes.
I saw that at Tim's house.
Yeah. So I have that one. I think you even seen the pictures of, like my brother painted it with the blood and added the snow and whatnot. I think it was posted in one of the groups we were in.
Wait, Greg, your brother doesn't like to add snow and blood to statues, right?
Oh, no, of course.
That's all he has.
Of course not.
He's very minimalistic.
No, but it worked. I think. He does. He's learning. He's doing pretty good. The Weapon X I had him do. I added blood and snow because it made it feel more alive, the statue and everything. I think it was lacking a little bit. So so I have that one and I have this one. So I never really needed the Phase 1. And I also have the running version of that besides the crossing arms one. There was 2 versions. All right. So anyway, we're getting off topic.
Hey, speaking of off topic, Austin's top 5 is very impressive.
It's pretty strong, I thought.
Yeah.
How many of you have XM's Magic?
Everybody has XM Magic except for me, apparently.
No, I don't either.
Nope, I don't have it.
Actually, XM Magic surprisingly, I think shot up in value. A lot of people are I've seen it go up for $2,000, in the aftermarket.
It's a pretty
the only one,
cool piece.
The only one I can see for sale, I think, is $3,000.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last one that popped up on Marketplace was $2,400.
I feel like and I don't remember the guy who is, but I believe the person on eBay is selling it for $3,500.
Yeah, I think there's 2 on there. They're both in the 3,000 range.
Yeah, it's weird because the guy hosts a very successful
you're good. You're gonna go
online website.
You're gonna throw him under the bus, huh?
I'm throwing everybody on the bus. Yeah, it's weird.
But anyways, X-Men exclusive Anthony. We kind of assumed his top 5.
He's gonna message me later and be like, "You dick."
we assumed Anthony's top 5 would be all XM pieces, right? That's a surprise, right?
All right, so I'll finish my list. So Phase 1, Phase 2. I keep saying Phase 1. Phase 2. I guess I'm gonna go with Doom behind me. Sabretooth is close, but I'm not gonna put Sabretooth. I'm gonna say XM Hulk.
Sabretooth then?
I love that Sabretooth, but I don't want to name this whole back shelf, so I'm not gonna go with it.
Which XM Hulk?
Pick your top 5 favorite. Don't be fucking weird about it.
I'm not being weird. It's tough. I got to put
being fucking weird because I thought you were in love with that Sabretooth.
I am in love with the Sabretooth, but I also have because I got XM Hulkbuster. I have I got
Okay, so you legit have 5 that are more that you enjoy more.
It's tough, man.
This started off as bad. You're like,
Greg
oh my God, my collection's so big. This is so tough.
Greg's giving his alternates.
Yeah, I know.
Top 5.
He's right there. He's right there. It's tough. I'm gonna say XM Hulkbuster.
I figured it would have been the 5 just out of the box on the shelf.
Right?
Out of the box, the new
console. Only 5 that he has displayed.
Not the Doom? Not the Frank?
No, Doom. I already said Doom. I'm just thinking of between. I like the LL Cyclops versus Sentinel. I don't think a Cyclops like that will ever be made of him showcasing his powers with his visor blasting through and whatnot.
Looks stupid, but that's cool.
Is that the one where half of his forehead or whatever is dirty and the other half is clean?
Yeah, the one with the shitty paint. Yeah,
it's the one where he does have a little shadow, but
I'm glad he didn't pay a lot for that one.
That's more than a shadow.
All right, he doesn't have a beard.
I heard it was cheap.
It's I love that Cyclops.
It looked like he smoked.
Glad you like it.
So he's up there. I'm thinking if it's gonna. I think the fifth spot comes down to either the Justice League versus Darkseid XM or XM Batman Sanity. I'm gonna go. Oh, that's tough.
Therapy's top 5 is his latest 5 to get in. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
You can't pick your last 5 to come in.
He literally looked it up online. And he was like, you know what? This works.
Of course, he had to have magic.
I'm gonna go with the.
Love magic.
I'm gonna go with the Justice League dial to round out the 5.
Did you ever take any fucking pictures of that shit? I asked you for a picture.
It's boxed up.
No, I didn't.
You can send you the
You don't
box
take
picture.
any of your shit.
I take pictures of all my stuff. I even write. Everyone makes fun because I write the reviews that are fucking long as fuck.
I've never
Yeah,
seen
but that's
any
because
of
you
your
start your reviews like.
Yes, you have seen it.
It was a
How do
sunny
you
day.
know I've seen it or not? I'm a minimalist. I don't see.
I don't know. You probably liked like a million of them,
That's
and you
gonna
just.
be nice. I just like.
Well,
don't read. I
well,
like
you
it.
seen them then.
Greg,
You just
Greg's
didn't read 'em.
reviews Or like a Nicholas Sparks book. I mean, it's unless you're a teenage girl, you're not going to read it all.
I was trying to help you to learn how to read, and but
I prefer the pictures. All right, I make
Well,
my-
he needs one-on-one videos.
that's why I collect CGCs. I only like the pictures of the cover.
That's fair.
That
All
is
right,
true.
who hasn't gone for their top 5?
I haven't gone.
All right, go.
All right, so this was up.
Jerry, you went, right?
Who?
Jerry went, right?
Yeah, Jerry went
Okay, go. Sorry. I'm
because
sorry.
he had like 4 Thors in his top
Yeah,
5.
he's like every
No, I
Thor.
had one.
I got you.
All right, so my we're at top 5. I took 6 pictures. Why did I take 6 pictures? I can't count.
Because you can't. Yeah, you didn't use your fingers.
All right, so mine.
The
obviously
other
I've got
picture was for me, Arch. Wink, wink.
It's so long, I can't count them.
It's this huge thing. So I would say my Green Goblin life-size bust. I think that was back when Sideshow was still caring about bust and made them, just blow you away. So it's got to be that one. Iron Studios 1/3 Hawkman, even though it arrived broken, that's one of those pieces that I'll never get rid of. Which is funny because X-Men is my favorite, but
Interesting.
and it's again like New Greg was saying, how those 1/3 pieces really kind of blow you away. Even if it's a character you don't care a whole lot about, just the size of it, the detail in it really just blows you away.
Do you have both sets of wings for that one? Or
I do
you just have the
not.
closed?
I only got the closed wings because I knew I would never be able to display it with the open wings.
Yeah.
It's huge.
That's the way to go.
It's a
man.
wall.
Yeah, exactly. Which I have seen some people do it where they kind of push it a little bit behind their other 1/3 pieces. Like I would love to have a 1/3 Justice League with Hawkman with open wings behind them. It would be so badass. But speaking of wings, my Angel Comiquette from Sideshow that I've got the exclusive, so it makes it Archangel, so everybody can suck it with
That's the 1/5 one, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's 1/5,
smaller
but
than
because,
regular one. I got you.
but because it's it's higher up, and I don't have to explain myself. It fits in with my.
I mean, the white wings are pretty, so
Yeah.
It makes it look real.
Pretty.
Yeah, pretty.
And I'm gonna get the XM Archangel that everybody's made fun of because it looks like they're singing and he's in pain. And the more I look at the long hair
musical.
portrait, I like that portrait better. So I think that's.
Are they gonna be two switch outs? I didn't see the other one.
Yeah, I've seen pictures somewhere. I don't
Is
know where
it? Hey, where are you gonna order from?
that is the question. I don't
I
know.
would highly suggest either doing Cosmic Collectibles or Spec Fiction.
That Spec Fiction was one of the other ones, and the other guys that Ben. Yeah, that's my other.
Those are the only 2 people I'd ever buy XM statues from.
Yep, those are the 2 options I want to go with. So that was what Goblin, Angel, Hawkman. That's 3. Did we say top 4 or 5? We said top 5, didn't we? So I would say my number 4 would be Hush Superman. I got the fabric cape. I prefer the fabric cape. I mean, I haven't.
Forgetting you own that. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and because I've got my Hawkman and my Hush Superman kind of framing my TV in my collection. So I've only got 4 1/3 pieces, so they're those. If you're seeing TV, that's what you see the most of. But they demand that presence. They're so huge. I couldn't imagine having a line of 1/3 pieces. That would just blow my mind. Fuck you, therapy again. Therapy's becoming my new ATV racer, right?
Speaking of which,
right. So my number 5 pick would be either between Sideshow's Gambit, which the knee pads being upside down, kind of.
second best Gambit. I got you.
What about because it's 1/5?
How dare you?
He's a tiny guy, man.
I don't think so. I think it looks
Not quite
great.
adult age at that point.
But it would be between 1/5 scale Gambit with upside down metal boot knee
Maybe
pads.
they'll do a grown up Gambit at some point.
Metal boot.
Wait, is it really 1/5?
No, he's not
No,
like that.
no.
He's a
he's
small
not.
guy, dude. He's
No. Everybody that complains about him being small, I don't think actually has a statue.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with
fair.
that.
I do not own the statue, but he is tiny.
He's not that small.
Little
I've got
guy.
it. He looks good next to Rogue. It's not a thing.
Yeah, they look
Wait,
great
but
together.
it's a dude next to you actually compare them? Like they actually.
Hey, Rogue is a Southern girl. We have big girls down here in the South.
I'm just saying.
But it's between that Gambit and my life size Daredevil bust by Sideshow. I absolutely love that bust. I know a lot of people, they wanted more shading and paint job with the skin color. But I love Daredevil. I think it's awesome. So that is my top 5.
You have
curious.
some life size bust there, Arch. That's pretty good.
I do have 1 or 2 life size busts.
I'm curious for us 1/4 Gambit collectors. PJ has Sideshow, right? PJ.
Yeah, I do.
Jerry has only Sideshow, right? So does Ark. What about both Gregs? I think
I got the
Big D's
Sideshow
got
one.
Missoula.
I have XM.
Oh my God! So it's just me and Missoula holding it down.
We're
All right.
the
Well,
old-
that experiment turned out shitty in my favor.
So with XM, I like how it's a smaller footprint, right? So you can.
It's more upright. The footprint's better, more displayable in my opinion.
So for the guys that want to do a team shot where they put as many as they can on one shelf, it's the better one to get.
It works better in my opinion.
Right.
It's more
But
expensive, but it works better.
I mean, I have really good taste, Ryan. I mean, between me and you, I think we won.
yeah. I mean, that
Yeah,
only makes
old
sense
Greg's
when
got-
the majority is against.
Old Greg has got such great taste that all of his collection stays in a box because he just can't stand to look
He
at
doesn't want UV light to hit it. Well, you'll be good.
it. So anyways, back to the beginning. Jerry, continue on with what you have planned.
Wait, I didn't give my top 5.
Ryan,
Wow,
it's
Justin.
Colossus, isn't it?
I'll be
you've
quick.
got
I'll be
6 of
quick.
them.
Poor guy doesn't even get a turn.
I know. The guy who came up with the questions is fucked up.
ATV did. I thought ATV came. No, I guess you didn't you, Ryan?
ATV's not on the goddamn show, dude.
So
I know. He haunts
All
my
right, so
life.
I'll be real quick. XM Red Hulk, XM Colossus, XM Megatron.
wait a second. Isn't Colossus 2 then for you?
Huh?
Isn't Colossus 2 then for you?
Yeah, but I'm only talking about the lower ES one with that baby.
So that takes up 2
Dick.
slots.
And then the Prime one.
Did he
Prime
stutter
one,
when he said Colossus?
potentially. Like a doublemint gum, yeah. Prime one, New 52 Dark Side.
Mm.
I've had it twice because I'm a maniac. And then my 5th one. Oh, fuck.
While he's trying to decide on which Colossus, XM Colossus. he's
Sume Fujita. Shut up. Shut up, Mark.
What about that big guy behind you? That's not one?
But with the big, you mean Sagat?
Wow, there's no Sideshow in that list, huh, Ryan?
I don't know the names of the guy. I don't know the names of the
I
anime
love
guys.
Sideshow. Don't get me wrong. Like the saber tooth, there's lots. This is just my top 5. I'm at the point where I'm having trouble selling stuff. Like I don't want to sell stuff. Meaning like,
Sell me your Sideshow Sabretooth.
no, I was just gonna say that's probably my favorite Sideshow piece that I own.
Really? Wow.
Followed by like Gladiator Hulk, and then
I'm surprised you don't have 2 of those Sabretooth.
huh?
I'm surprised you don't have 2 Sideshow Sabretooth.
No, I have one Sideshow Sabretooth and one XM.
I know, I'm just messing with you. So
I figured
speaking
you
of, you trying to say, selling and buying back, is there anybody else that has sold a piece and bought it back later?
Please be someone else besides me.
There's
Oh God, this is not good.
only one person that has
It's
made that
fucked up.
mistake.
At least pretend, Jerry. George.
There was a reason why I sold those.
I said George Greg. I mean, fuck.
Sorry, Ryan, we're not in on this one.
No, it's all good, man. I've owned XM Venom twice. Prime one.
That's a good piece, though.
Batman Hush twice. The kneeling one.
Mm.
It does
And the
help a
Dust-
little
and the
bit with
Deathstroke.
the fear of missing out, though, knowing that it's so easy to just rebuy these things.
Well, it did, and I ended up getting the exclusive on the second time around for the Batman Hush, Prime One Batman Hush, and Prime One comic Deathstroke that Greg Fulks was talking about too.
What was the exclusive on? You say you got the exclusive on Colossus the second time? Or no, Batman Hush. What was the exclusive on it?
It was like the smirking portrait, which I would fucking never put up.
Yeah.
So did you lose money when you sold it and then rebought it? Did you end up paying
A little
more?
bit. I think it was like $50. I bought it from a pretty cool collector, Glenn. I don't know if he wants me giving out his last name, but he's a really nice guy. Him and his son collect. And he started collecting. In fact, I think he bought my Sume One Punch Man statues, the Genos and Saitama, for retail. He's actually pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but I think I only lost like $50.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not
That's
bad at all.
excluding shipping. I don't think I included shipping there.
So Ryan, have you ever sold a piece twice and bought it back? So ultimately, you bought it 3 times.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, I mean, hopefully never, right, man? I make a lot of mistakes, man. I try to be pretty upfront with it, but no, I have not.
Okay.
Yeah, my last 1/3 Prime One piece will be that Wonder Woman that's based off Art Germ's art, where she looks very adult, Jerry. Very adult.
She looks
that-
very old for a 14-year-old, I think.
She's the oldest 21-year-old I've ever met.
Her body's quite mature, I would say, for the 12-year-old that her face looks like.
She's not like that young, dude.
Oh, nice.
You guys suck. You guys need to get out more, right? Shut up, Missile. No, but I dig that shit, man. I would have gotten the Canary too, but my wife would probably murder me.
The Art Germ one, the one where she's
Where she her
yeah, she's
half
very
cute.
down.
visible.
I can't
Actually, that
picture
one
what that
looks
one
like an
looks like.
adult. That one does not have the
No, you're out of your
child
mind.
face.
That one looks younger than fucking XM Mystique and Magic, or as young as XM Magic. You have XM Magic, Jerry?
Yeah.
Oh man, you should be talking shit at all, dude. That one looks much younger than the XM Prime One Wonder Woman Art Germ.
What are
I
you
don't think
talking
so.
about? You're
I don't think
crazy.
so.
I feel like you're out of touch with
But-
America.
But
No,
Magic,
put the
Entire country.
demon head on. That takes care of
I
it.
never thought Axe and Magic looked that young.
She
Yeah,
looks
Magic
young,
is-
but she doesn't look like. I'm
You
not
got no
saying
support
she
here,
looks-
Ryan. You need to
I'm
get
not-
onto a new topic.
no, let me preface this.
You're just
Magic-
striking out. You're striking out.
Magic is supposed to be younger though.
Right, but what I'm saying is, if you had to compare which one of these look younger, I would have thought the XM Magic looks younger than the Prime One Art Germ Wonder Woman.
It should look younger, but it doesn't.
I don't know. I would have gone with Magic just because she's only supposed to be like a 20-something-year-old.
Looks younger. I'm just talking about the portraits. They look younger, right? Which one looks
Yeah,
younger?
but I haven't seen it other
I
than.
mean, we haven't seen the Prime
Alright,
one in
listen,
person
gentlemen.
yet either,
Yeah.
so
I'm just gonna bring up pictures to help.
Okay, bring up pictures, but also put the demon picture because that's the head I use.
But while
That doesn't help. You got to look at the one that fucking looks younger.
this is like a
dude.
weird comparison though, because this isn't really proving
That's
anything.
because fucking Prime One Jerry over here is trying to cheat.
Ryan's pulling up his private collection of child pics, I'm gonna get
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Our
dude.
We're about to get
perpetual-
shut down. We're about to get shut down.
Fucker. God damn.
There's nobody to complain in the chat.
What?
Listen, we topped out at 20 before.
There's nobody to complain about us.
Yeah, that's right. There's like 14 people.
We
That's-
did hit
he's
20.
nuts. That's good. All right. Look, I'm gonna pull these up. What the fuck is this? Zavi. bullshit website.
I was surprised you put Darkseid in the top 5. That the
I
Prime
won
one.
it twice, dude. And the second time I bought it, you guys know the redhead, the pretty redhead from True Blood?
True Blood, yes.
She was also in Daredevil.
Oh,
I bought it from
yes.
her husband the second time around.
You bought it from her husband?
Yes.
Wait, what? Say that again?
Believe it or not, I bought it from her husband.
How?
It's a charity thing on eBay.
That's powerful.
I actually pretty much confirmed it too.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of tight.
See, I like for
This is not
Darkseid,
good.
I love the XM one, the 1/6 Darkseid.
I have
Yeah.
that one too.
That one's great. I feel like that would be the better statue if it was 1/4 or 1/3. Or wait, what? No, it was 1/4 that
mine's
Prime one?
1/4
It's
actually.
1/4, yeah.
If they made a 1/3, I might, and it was really good, I might replace one of the dark sides.
I keep looking at that new Prime one that they're bringing out from
The movie?
Justice League. Yeah, and I'm wondering if that'll mix well with like comic accurate
Colors are gonna suck on it, man. If
It's
you
gonna
look
be
at the
so
movie.
dark.
Yeah,
The movies are gonna the colors are gonna be basic as fuck. I think.
I don't know. I don't collect movie pieces, so they were never my jam.
Dude, yeah, I'm totally right about this, Jerry. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck is this?
I don't know. We're waiting
All
on
right,
you to
that
post a picture.
verse.
we're not seeing any of the pictures.
Oh shit, I'm fucking hardcore failing. Wait, you should see it. They're right here.
Let's see what's going on in the
You guys not
chat.
see
We
the
see
pic-
your
oh, shit, I'm
perpetual
failing
motion.
your-
No, we
no,
don't
no,
see any
no.
pictures. Let's see what's
No,
going on in the
I'm
chat.
failing hard. I literally shared.
Collectors Therapy says XM Sabretooth is better than sideshows.
I shared the wrong screen. Here you go.
I think I'd agree
The
with
best
that.
Sabretooth is behind me.
Who said that? Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but
it's close. Look, this looks a lot younger than this.
yeah, but you're looking at the wrong portrait.
That doesn't matter. We're saying which one looks younger. So we're
She
gonna go
looks
with-
very young.
We're not gonna go over the fucking demon head just so you can sleep at night. And you don't have a pedo bear of a statue, right?
I don't think she looks that young.
Which one do you think looks younger? This one
Yes.
The art germ.
or that one?
I think
The art germ.
What?
Yeah.
I said in stereo, you bastards. What was that? That was both Gregs in unison?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got that kind of vibe already.
All right. Well, PJ, what do you think?
PJ's
He's
muted.
on mute. So
What about
is
you, Justin?
Justin's getting a drink. So
No, this is not working out for me at all. All
Oh,
right,
wait,
we'll
what
move
do we
on.
see in the chat now? Barb says Wonder Woman looks younger.
God damn it, Barb, betrayer.
I mean, Ryan, sometimes, some people prefer them young. I mean,
That's-
Wait, Ark. I was.
I see that Hulk in
What
your
do you think?
background, and that's an awesome statue.
Which one?
Your background.
ATV says Wonder Woman younger.
All right, you fucks. Last
ATV's
episode.
been ATV's been like smoking me in the comments tonight, but I agree.
what are we looking at here? What are you showing us, Ryan?
Oh shit, I forgot. Okay. Hi.
Could you
Hi,
imagine if you
Jared.
had
What's your next?
a shortcut to like Pornhub on your desktop?
No, I'm not a Batman fan.
Anyways, Jerry,
We don't run a
please
Disney
continue
Channel on the side.
Well, we've been having so much fun with the freestyle.
I'm
So
gonna go to the restroom while you do this.
Don't forget to wipe front to back.
Don't make it weird, all right?
Continue on, Jerry.
well, so I guess one of the things we were going to talk, we had thought about talking about, the hot topic of the day was shipping and shipping costs and how many of us are getting priced out of the ability to do these sorts of things. I think there's probably just going to be a lot of echoing consensus that yeah, the shipping is killing us, but I know it's really killing me. And unfortunately, with the custom game, this stuff was ordered so long ago, and now these shipping prices are coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let me give my.
Go ahead, Greg.
I was sorry. Let me give my opinion. It sucks. Go on. Go ahead, Justin.
So I'll say. So I I always kind of laughed at the guys that kept getting customs because they would complain, oh, I'm paying $400 for shipping or this and that, and I'm like, well, stop buying custom.
Yeah.
Right. Which I know.
Yeah, but the problem, it's so easy, right? But you stop now, you're paying for at least another year, more likely
Definitely
a year and a half,
another
2
year.
years
Yeah.
to settle up with everything that you got yourself into. And that's our own fault.
It is. It's not easy to get out. Yeah, because some statues will take a year and a half, some 2. Obviously, as you guys have seen, some taking 3, 4. Those are rare, but it does happen. But like, yeah, you're locked in for a good year to 2 years with normal guys. Usually, that's what it is. Some guys have been trying to speed up the process and whatnot as of late. COVID was slowing down. Now it's whatever back and shit, and it may slow it down again. I don't know, but that hasn't helped. But yeah, you're locked in for years, really. I mean, if trying to get out. I'm trying to slow down because the shipping, it hurt. I hate paying fucking, $600 in shipping on just one statue.
Right.
I don't want to have to do that. That's another statue I could buy.
Right.
And that could be another one could be seen in a box. You think I like not getting another one for another box?
So Greg, do you look at your box collection? And you're like, oh man, there's room for one more box. So will you get like if you buy paper towels in stock where it comes in a box, will you stick that box just as a place?
I'll use the paper towel box for a statue if I have to. I look at paper towels, and that's one of the main priorities. Buying bundles.
I like how Barb in the chat, she's excited that she's negative for COVID, but she's still sick. But so even outside of customs, obviously, like with Sideshow, their shipping has increased. Like Surfer, I paid I think $77 or $80 for shipping, which is still more than I think I paid for my 1/3 pieces from Sideshow when they came out.
But I think didn't they then? But haven't they adjusted the back now? Hasn't it felt? It did spike for Surfer, but didn't it kind of come back down to a more reasonable?
I don't know.
Has anybody got something recently?
I just got the Batgirl one. Let me check what shipping was. It wasn't cheap. I thought it was like
about $50 to you.
I think 55. I want to say. I'm gonna check right now.
Yeah,
that's what I like about Prime 1 right now. It seems like every vendor that you can get Prime 1 statues from, that's like a lot of them are just free shipping right now. I mean, yeah, they mark up the price $100 to $200 to cover basically shipping, but when the statue does finally come out, it's not, oh, here's $350, $400 to get it to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's even the large ones too.
Are we talking
yeah.
about
Prime
shipping?
1, buying direct from them and using their eco shipping has worked out really well for me. I know some people talk about how it really didn't work for them, but
What's
like the
time
Batman Hush Batcave, I think I paid $230 to ship that by boat.
Their
What's
eco
the wait
shipping's
time, though,
actually
Jerry?
coming down too.
What's that?
What's
Their
the wait
economy
time?
shipping's coming down too.
Yeah, that was the economy.
But economy takes forever. I would
It
rather
does.
pay.
That's the thing. Well, I mean, I just went through that with that custom Thor. That took 2 months, and there was a lot of anxiety, and it wasn't. I didn't save a whole lot, and so I've been kind of trying to decide. If it's a 50% savings, though, I'm pretty much going by boat. I think Greg is exclusively boat, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I have, yeah. I mean, I have a nice amount of customs on pre-order, obviously, as you guys know. So it's just like if I can save like 300 here or 200, even if it's 100. If I'm saving 100 on each custom, that could be, that's thousands that can be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually more than 100. It's usually, we're talking, 200-300 at least. So, I mean, you got to save where you can. I want to spend the least amount on shipping as it is, no matter what. I hate shelling out money.
What's the Prime 1 shipping like, Econ? Like, how long does it take these days?
3 to 4 months.
Even recently?
Yeah.
The most I've ever waited is 3 months.
That's fucking. You guys have much more patience to me. That's the lifetime to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially
it is. When you
pay
look
for
at their regular shipping, you're like, yeah, I think I can wait.
Yeah, 2 weeks versus 2 or 3 weeks versus.
Yeah, but it's more than double.
Well, I mean, I could see if you don't have a lot of statues coming in or haven't gotten one often, and you really need that fix, and you want to someone's echoing, and you really want that fix. Like Jerry, he gets in statues every week pretty much, so he could wait those 3 months.
Not anymore.
But
That's since
nah.
he met you.
But
hey, new Greg, how often are you getting statues in? Do you get them in a lot of time, or are you kind of taking your time with it and spacing it out?
I try to space it out, but it always seems like I have like 2 that arrive at the same exact time, like a week apart from each other, and then I go through a dry spell. I'm like, damn it, I want something to come in, and it sounds like nothing's coming in for months.
Yeah. Have you gotten in the omnibus phase?
I still have a weekly pull list
Oh, okay.
that I do. There's some stuff that I wanna read and get like on the omnibus side, but it's more of like the Star Wars, the old Dark Horse stuff.
Got you. And what Jerry was talking about with Ryan, buying the same statues over and over again. But that fear of missing out, I never had that with statues, but with omnibus, I've got that fear of missing, which I know they're going to eventually reprint them again. But I'm buying so much omnibus now where I can't read it all, obviously. But it's that fear of missing out with omnibus that I've never had with anything else. It's crazy.
Because you need someone to read it to you.
Yeah. I think that's something that was probably more historical. I think Marvel has kind of dialed it in, and they see how much money they're making. So if you're buying Marvel Omnis, I can't see them not keeping that cash cow going because they're making so much money on it. They used to let Omnis go out of print for 10 years, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that anymore. I think they're going to keep these things coming because they're making so much money on them.
That's because they're profiting off of it. They're just, we'll just keep reprinting them and selling them that way rather than having everybody sell them on eBay for several $100s.
Right.
No, I'm collecting stuff for my daughter and my son for when they get older that they think they want to read.
Oh, really?
Because it'll be a lot much more expensive later.
Unless they reprint it.
Do you find reading the older stuff hard to? A lot of it seems contrived, and I guess part of it comes back to something else I want to talk about was your ability of lost my train of thought. Suspension of disbelief, right? When you're reading a comic as a kid, you got the suspension of disbelief. Your imagination fills in tons of gaps. It'll fill in all kinds of stuff, and then there's the nostalgia thing for the stuff that you read when you were young, kind of bringing you back to that. So the comics that I kind of hold dear and then go back and reread, I'm finding, wow, these things aren't written very well at all, and I thought these were much better than they were. When I'm rereading Deathlock right now, which was kind of Marvel's Cyborg before DC's Cyborg.
Shitty character.
So since I'm reading comics for the first time, I don't really see the difference of the older stuff versus the newer stuff. I mean, I kind of can, because like when it comes to Batman, I can't read the comic runs of those pieces, right, where it's issue. I have to read like the Longest Halloween, The Darkest Night, those type stories where it's so many issues and it's done, or Joker War. I love that type of stuff when it comes to Batman because I've tried reading the New 52 Batman, which I love Court of Owls. But when you get past Court of Owls, I can't continue on. It bores me.
It dies, yeah.
Yeah.
Batman's one of those characters that's like you read the story arcs that they put together,
Right.
and I'm like, with the history that he has, you have so much reading to do with him.
Yep.
It's
but
like
when it comes to X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, I can read it issue to issue, back to back, all day long. Daredevil, I can read back to back all day long. Fantastic Four, the Stan Lee run, it gets kind of weird at sometimes or dry, but it's still more entertaining to me to read it back to back than let's say Batman.
Hey Arch, where are you reading it? Omnibus? Or are you doing it through like the iPad or?
He just wanted to read, so he's using audiobook.
Audiobook?
I'm a little bit everywhere. So I'm reading Daredevil through digital because the Frank Miller it's super expensive. But I'm reading Uncanny X-Men and Omnibus.
Okay.
The Last Night on Earth, I think it is, that run I read issue to issue. I actually ordered all the individual comics, so I'm kind of all over the place.
PJ, you got tons of feedback. Are you new to this live streaming business?
Sorry, I'm actually not even home. I'm actually still. I actually grabbed like a quick bite to eat on the way home, and I'm like on my way home.
Wait, where did you grab a quick bite to eat?
Panda Express.
Of course. Hello. No, I went to Wendy's real quick. So there was a lot of like people talking, so I didn't want to like, that's why I muted my mic, so I didn't want you guys to like hear all that stuff. Am I still having some feedback or no? Not really.
A little bit. It's okay.
It's good.
Oh, sorry.
Only when any of us talk.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, good.
Because I'm still kind of like I haven't done the digital thing yet, so I'm still debating if I should just like jump right into like reading comics on digital. I don't know, it just doesn't feel the same to me sometimes. But I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
So I'll say with digital. With digital, sometimes, at least with me, you could be reading a comic and, you'll flip to one page and instead of going, left to right and then going back left to right, if it's a certain panel type thing, you have to go left to right on both pages and then start over. So it'll be like sometimes I'll read and then be like, I'll go to the wrong bubble and I'm like, oh, damn it. I read that out of order. Digital, you can make it where it goes to the correct box type thing. And then on top of that, the thing I love about digital,
There's no problem.
right? Yeah, it's the whole learning to read type thing. The digital, I've got 3 kids.
Don't give him manga then.
My youngest is 3 years old, and he loves when I'm reading to want to sit by me, and he's always got goldfish or crackers or something sticky.
You have him read them to you?
Yeah, he reads them to me. He'll often help me what order I should go in. So digital, when my kids are around, is the best. Or digital when my wife's asleep, if I stay up later than she does, or if I wake up earlier than she does, depending on what kind of corner nightlife she's had. But so digital works that best. But I've also had some comics where I've read digital that I loved so much that I wanted the hard copy. So I bought the omnibus of it, even though I've read it. Like the first Flash omnibus I've got that was written by Jeff Johns.
Is that the new 52 one?
Yeah, the new 52 one. It's Wally West instead of Barry Allen, which I think so far, and I'm basing this after watching the CW show, which I know gets a lot of negative feedback. But I think the Wally West comic run is so much better than the Barry Allen. He's more confident and kind of a cooler cat type thing. And at one point he was like, I went through girlfriends like it was nothing, like just because I'm who I am, right? And he's got that persona type thing. So I see the digital side benefits and not, but it's just two different things. Like Swamp Thing, The Absolute, I don't know if I would get an omnibus event because the Absolute, the pages are bigger, they're brighter. I love that about the Swamp Thing. And then on top of that, the Swamp Thing Absolute, the cover of it's like wrapped in felt or like a cloth material. You don't get
The
that.
Absolutes are so nice, dude. It's really hard to beat those.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
They are condensed, but still.
They're absolutely
but digital. So if I'm reading an omnibus or a comic, I can only read it when I'm home. If I read digital, I can read it on my tablet, but also my phone, because I have the same app, I can pick up right where I left off on my phone. So if I'm on my lunch break at work and I want to read some comics, I can go ahead and do that.
Which app are you using?
Well, I'm using Kindle Unlimited.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So does that mean Comixology? Because didn't they buy them?
I don't know if they did. I had comics all what you said for a brief time, but I felt Kindle Unlimited had more comics that I actually wanted to read.
Maybe so.
Interesting. Well, is anyone like you picking up the physical copies now, or anyone doing that still?
New Greg said he's still got a pull list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I tend to like now I'm going more for like the independent ones rather
Me too.
than like the two main companies. I got a couple from the main, but I'm finding I like more from Image and Boom Studios.
Yeah.
Mm.
With Ones in Future and Die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. And something's killing the children.
Yep. Yeah, those are
Those are on
and
my
a lot
list.
of those are getting picked up nowadays for TV shows and movies and stuff. So everybody's already migrating to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodney was he was mentioning, I think he made a post about it, about a comic he had read, where it's like everybody's got certain abilities, but you don't know what they are until you like decide to use them, and then once you do use them, you've got like X amount of days to live. I forget what it was called, but I was like, when he posted about it, it's like, oh man, that's very interesting. And I was telling my wife about it. She was like, I'd read that. I'd watch that. So I see what you mean about how, some of these other independent comics, as far as being made into a show or something like that, that a lot of them, it's so different from your normal, guys got born into superpowers and decides to put on spandex and save a kid out of a tree type thing.
Well, with the big two, it seems like they just can't get away from their main characters. They don't develop anything else, and
So agree.
you basically let's get away from Wolverine and go X-23, and then all of a sudden you're back to Wolverine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, these are great characters, but I'm like, you're not doing anything that hasn't been done already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus I feel like they recycle through like some of the characters, which I get it. Like I'm all for like different, genders and whatever. But I mean, like to have like a different version. Like, isn't there like an Asian Hulk or something like that? And
Yeah,
There
Amadeus
was,
Cho, right?
yeah, and I'm Asian, and I'm like, I don't know if I want, like. I just want like a different like superhero with different abilities, like
Didn't they name Asian Hulk Godzilla? Maybe not.
Nah, but I get what you're saying. But you know what I'm saying? Like I just like, that's why I love I appreciate like The Boys or even what's the other show from Netflix?
Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy.
You're basically saying if they're going to do an Asian character, you want it to be a brand new character that's Asian.
Yes, like different like
Yeah.
abilities, like that's not like similar to someone else's. Like you're.
Yeah.
Like,
Did any of you guys watch Deadly Class on Sci-Fi?
I never
I
heard
did.
of it.
Never heard of it.
That was a cool one.
like
That was
like
one-
with Shang-Chi, like I feel like that's something different, which I appreciate.
That actually looks good.
Yeah, like Eternals, like stuff like that. Like I just don't like reusing.
So his dad
it.
is the Mandarin, right? That's the idea.
Not sure.
I don't
I
know.
don't know
I
if it's in the comics, but it looks like the movie. His dad's the Mandarin. Right?
I know nothing
Yeah,
about
that's
it, but I
right.
seen the trailer and it made me want to know about it.
So Barb
You
in the chat,
never see me coming. Um,
Nice.
Barb in the chat is saying that she could dig a Cuban version of Wolverine. So I imagine reading that comic, a Cuban version of Wolverine, and it's like you hear Wolverine talking, but you don't actually see him in any of the panels because he's like sitting on the couch or like off distance.
I can't
Like
say-
how
I can't
Hami is
say any
always.
of my jokes.
I
I had
well, I was
one-
gonna say, did anybody watch the Suicide Squad?
Not
did.
yet.
Yeah.
I like some, like some of the. I mean, even though like most of them are bad guys, but like, like they're different, and I like that. I appreciate that. Like I would like to see more of them. Less of like, I don't know.
And not to dive too much into the new Suicide Squad, since there are a lot of people that hasn't seen anything. I will say the first Suicide Squad, it was pretty much, it was a Harley Quinn, Will Smith movie, right? It was
Mhm.
all about them. This one I thought was better, like the first Avengers movie, how everybody's got their own moment.
Yeah.
Like it's
Mhm.
not focused on one person. I thought they did a
Zack
much
Snyder's
better
Justice
job.
League, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Zack Snyder's Justice League felt like that too. Where
Yeah, exactly.
Did you? So
Yes. Amen.
I'm not to spoil the movie because like you said, none of us seen it. So do you feel like there was like a main character? Did you feel like Harley was the main at any point, or
Not at
no?
all.
No,
Not at all.
Okay.
not
I
at
feel like
all.
she was a supporting character.
Yeah, if anything, all of them were supporting characters. They were all like, they were like a
Mhm.
team basically.
Right. And I do feel like this movie kind of had the same effect as the first one, how you had a great movie for the most part of it, and then the ending kind of, the ending villain kind of disappointed. But as far as you're gonna laugh. There's lots of humor. There's lots of gore. It's still a DC movie, but it more so resembles like a Deadpool movie, I guess.
Mhm.
But it was very entertaining. I liked it. I still the first half of the original Suicide Squad I liked more. But of course the ending blew that movie. But like I said, it's a great. I don't know if you can call it a sequel because they don't really talk about the first one.
I think it's a standalone, according to like James Gunn.
Yeah.
Oh, by
I
the
will
way,
say,
sorry, go ahead,
go
Arch.
ahead, PJ. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I will say if you like the comic version, it looks like all the characters are in their comic suits, which is why everybody looks dumb. But it works. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was gonna add just real quick. I know, and this is not we're not gonna talk spoilers here, but I just love the fact that A, it's rated R. B, they're not trying to be like the MCU, like with the humor or anything like that. Like I felt like they were trying to do that with the first Justice League movie, This one, it's like raw. It's dark with a little bit of like James Gunn humor,
Mhm.
and I really liked it. I thought this is like wow. Like I wish that DC would put out more movies like this.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
I don't think DC still knows where they're going. They're just kind of throwing things against the wall and seeing what works.
I agree with that, Greg. I agree.
I
Yeah.
agree with that too,
100%.
Greg.
I think now is the best time than ever for DC to strike, or at least compete with
1000%.
Marvel, because
Well,
Marvel right now is in a transition period with all their characters, and they're losing all the actors and whatnot, and they're trying to bring in new, like with She-Hulk getting her own show. You got Hawkeye. He's training. I forget that girl's name. Whatever.
Jeremy Renner,
his daughter.
Yeah, his daughter,
Dave
and
Bishop.
yeah, like they're in a weird transitioning.
Gotcha.
Like looks like Young Avengers.
I look at
Kinda-
DC, and DC needs to get away from competing with Marvel, and just like they seem to be doing better, just doing one-off movies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Stop trying to create a universe that it's like, oh wait, do we want Pattinson or do we want Affleck for Batman? Do we want to
Definitely want
recast
Affleck.
Superman? It's kind of like just make movies, because the ones that don't pertain to a universe have been their best ones so far, like Joker, and from what everybody's saying, this Suicide Squad's been really good.
I wasn't a huge fan of Joker, but go on.
Well,
You don't
I mean,
understand.
Yeah. No, but it was a success. Let's just put it that way. It was.
I came out of that
Success.
movie and I'm like, damn it! Now I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't want to watch a superhero movie and think.
I do think though Marvel is going to be dipping down, in box office numbers anyway. I think they're going to be disappointed. I don't think these movies are going to be huge box office hits between what they're not that the trailers look bad. I didn't think Eternals really brought me in and made me want to see it, but the Shanghai one, whatever the hell it's called, Shang-Chi. the fucking Shang-Chi one.
But you also look at it
fucking
too, it's like when they started doing like phase 1, how many of you thought that they were going to be able to make what they made?
I mean,
with their
yes,
characters.
Yeah, I mean there was some. The first phases, a lot of them had A-listers. I mean, yes, they turned Guardians into a household name, yes. But I mean, I feel like a lot of these you're pushing it, and now with COVID and all that, I think they're not gonna be happy with these numbers that they get. Black Widow didn't do so well, and Black Widow has been with them since the beginning.
Greg,
You're right. I think you're right. I think Guardians was kind of a fluke, a perfect storm. Things came together.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack was awesome. Gunn was a great, was a
Yeah,
great
and they were
director.
red hot at the time too, Marvel.
But actually, if you're a comic book fan, maybe later get Guardians. But from my day, that wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy. That was just it was named Guardians of the Galaxy, and the characters had the same names, but they were really different from at least back when I read it. I don't know, maybe it changed later and I think it was just kind of like one of these perfect storms where it all worked. And I think you're right. They just can't go and grab any title and have a hit with it.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, you said I was right, and I just said you heard that, Justin. But
he froze that now. He's going to be playing it.
Justin didn't even say anything. He was like, "Damn it, this didn't go according to plan."
Jerry's senile in his age. All right, don't take it to heart here.
Jerry's a World War II vet. Show him some respect.
Wow, Jerry has made me love Swamp Thing. When I never thought I would pick that up. And
that's what you're calling it nowadays?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how last week we were talking about cartoons and stuff. Like, I wanted to know what Jerry's first cartoon was. Was it the first Mickey Mouse, in the 1940s?
No, if you guys don't want to be dicks about it, I could tell you.
Jerry's not that old.
I'm gonna time out. I'm gonna say a real answer. I'm gonna say Popeye.
I'd have gone to Flintstones.
What is Popeye that old? I was actually being respectful. I thought Popeye seemed like a good answer.
Well, Flintstones was a primetime cartoon. It was like Simpsons. It was in primetime. It wasn't like a Saturday morning cartoon.
So, what was one of your first cartoons that you absolutely loved?
Well, so I watched. I have some vague memories of the original Spider-Man. With the theme song, "Does Whatever a Spider Can." I have some memories of that. I have some memories, but they're vague, of the original. Marvel had several kind of half-assed stop-action sort of comic. They had Fantastic Four. They had a Marvel Superhero Hour. I remember that stuff, but Looney Tunes was mostly the stuff that I remember really well. And then into the 70s, Scooby-Doo was huge. So that's what?
Cool.
It's just Scooby-Doo sucks.
What?
Scooby sucks?
I loved Scooby-Doo. The older stuff. I didn't care for the newer stuff. But I loved, especially, I think at one point even Adam West Batman made an appearance, right?
Yeah, they did have. They had Adam West and Burt Ward do Batman and Robin on Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
sorry, real quick, Greg. No, but I was just saying, and with the Suicide Squad, I love the fact that it was really gory and it was really not like like little kid. It wasn't really like like trying to like capture like the little kids like like to watch it and stuff.
Right.
Like
It's rated
I
R,
just,
right?
yeah, it's really hard, and I just hope that like DC does more of that, and instead of like, oh, we got to capture like the younger crowd to watch these movies.
We need to do a Blackest Night movie.
Has anybody
Maybe-
started watching
maybe-
that Harley Quinn, the cartoon?
I heard it was really good. I only
It's
watched
pretty
one
good.
episode. It was pretty damn crazy. I couldn't believe it.
I started watching it last night, got through a couple episodes, and I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, it was good. I actually forgot all about it. I watched one episode and I ended up getting busy for a while, and then I didn't. I
Wait,
should watch it again.
When you say getting busy, is this like
I meant with your mom.
you son of a bitch?
That's strong. Yeah.
You set yourself up so good. You tried to come at me, and I hit you hard.
I was actually going to compliment you, and
Oh.
instead you disrespect my mother. How dare you?
I'm sorry, your sister then.
That's also his mother. That's fine.
Hey, my sister looks just like me, but with a longer beard. So in your face.
That's what you think.
She's more like- Mhm.
But anyways, Jerry, I'm curious what other activities you have planned for this evening. Now
Well,
that
I think
we're past 10.
I think we pretty much we covered 2 hours. Are we going to keep going?
I can call it. I can chill out off air if you guys want.
Yeah.
We could save some topics for because I think if we start on a new topic, we'll be going on for another hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, has anyone got anything coming in soon?
I got a custom Red Hood coming in Monday.
Oh, nice.
It comes
Yeah,
with a free box of tampons.
Wait, actually, real quick, anyone pre-ordered that Carnage, or is anyone getting that new Carnage by Daniel Bell?
I think the new Carnage
Yeah.
is awesome. I didn't
It's
pre-order it
nice.
because I'm sure
It's
it'll have
cool.
an ES of 5000. We'll be able to get it down the line if I do choose it. I also want to see what the K-Bros do with Carnage, but with XM. What I don't like about the
Unlike Greg,
I think this what
I said I have a collecting focus, unlike Big D.
I think two things. Well, a few things with the Carnage. I do think it's awesome overall, and I have the XM Carnage, and I do like that Carnage better. But what I don't like about that Carnage is there's no switch outs. Now, does that one need it? Maybe not. But I'm a sucker for a transformation head. I love transformation heads on any like either Venom or Carnage or any kind of symbiote.
Right.
So I think it's a miss that it doesn't have a transformation head.
I
And
thought
maybe
you
like
thought
a
Venom
switch out weapon would have been cool. I mean, but it's pretty damn awesome, really, as is right now. I mean,
I don't
I
care.
I wouldn't hate having that at all. I think it's better than the XM Carnage.
I don't care for the transition pieces. Like, I wouldn't want a Batman statue where he's, Batman from the waist down with his shirt off, right? Like he's.
That's different. That's so different.
That's what a transition.
You have the angry monkey Venom.
Ark wants to
Greg?
see Justice in person.
I want to see that Batwing in statue form, right? I got the digital version, so it was blurred out. I mean, we need the
Art
statue.
wants a Batman Damned.
Exactly, that
He wants to
Batwing.
know if
Issue
Batman
1.
Relax is a bigger D than the other one.
I need to know if I'm bigger or smaller than Batman. That's all I need to know, right?
So that's why he gets it digital. He can shrink it down a little bit. Feel better.
You have to shrink it down a lot. I mean, we can only shrink down so much.
Oh my god. By the way, I picked up the cable regular premium format. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, I mean, like, I know I was listening to Ark. Ark, you have the cable, right?
The sideshow?
Yeah,
Him and I both do.
yeah, because I remember you saying like you really could care less for the portal.
Yeah, I don't
So-
split with the port.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, I ended up picking up the regular cable for a pretty good price. Like I got it for like $600,
Oh, nice.
brand new. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll take it.
It's
you
heavy
know?
as fuck, right?
No, it should be shipping next week. So
God damn it, PJ. No, I'm just kidding.
So PJ, I'll say I ordered mine. I think day one, and I ordered regular over exclusive day one when it came out for pre-order.
Sad.
oh, okay.
So I'll say I think that's the better choice, unless you want a Deadpool dangling hand.
Or more money. Right.
I mean, what is it? $15 more, 25 for the Deadpool.
Yeah, but I'm never going to display it. I'm never going to sell it. So
Well, I mean, you never say never. You never know.
I
He
know.
will.
I know, Greg.
I know you haven't sold a piece ever, and I know as of now you say you're never going to sell a piece, but you never know. You can never say never.
I mean,
It's
right now
between-
he's letting his fish swim in darkness.
So
Yeah,
dibs
they're
on
on
phase
timer.
2.
It's nighttime.
Well, take it easy, Jerry. That's no.
What did Jerry say?
He said dibs on phase 2 because he thinks I'm hinting that I could sell.
I'm waiting
I
for
hope
Jerry
you
to
let a
sell
Tim
me
know first.
extra
He's gonna
magic.
murder you.
What'd you say?
I hope you let a Tim know first.
Oh.
He's gonna murder you.
No kidding.
I'm selling it actually now for 20 G's.
20
Oh.
G's.
Oh my god, bro.
It'll be the highest statue ever.
I mean, even thinking of that stupid.
The thing goes for like, not realistically.
You could probably
I
get
could-
that from some of those people that jumped on the thing this morning.
I know, right? I could definitely get 10K.
That's crazy.
That
If you pay
is
10K
crazy,
for a
man.
statue, it's
That's
insane.
crazy.
Scale is the thing.
What?
You said the thing. What scale is the thing?
1.35,
Listen,
My-
I've
one
got a
to-
1-to-1 scale the thing.
1 to
Also-
3.5.
So hey, real quick, while we're talking about crazy prices, do you think as technology gets better, like the price of printers come down, like just like with TVs?
They're coming down now. Yeah.
Do you think the price of statues will eventually come down, or do you think it'll
No.
price
No.
out where people leave the hobby?
I think that in 10 years, there will be such transformative change that there won't be people casting statues anymore, that people will be buying the STL files and printing.
So yeah, to answer the question, I do think prices will either. I don't know if they'll go down, but I don't think they're gonna be going up a lot in the next few years. Or I don't think they'll go up because people will be able to do their own thing.
I think it's going to be a long time.
Are you talking customs, or are you talking the big companies?
I think it's gonna hurt customs if people are able to start printing out their own.
It's going to be
It's
a
gonna
long
hurt.
time before anyone can print out something the same quality as some of these bigger factories.
So let's say
I don't think it's as long as you think.
Oh
So-
yeah,
That's
how long do
right.
you think I think?
so.
Well,
So Ryan,
I said
How
10
long are you
years.
guys-
Are you thinking more than 10 years?
I'm thinking 5.
Okay,
Oh,
well, that's
talking
not a
about
long.
something else.
I wouldn't quantify that as a long time.
See, Jerry, he doesn't want to think 10 years because he'll be in his 50s at that point. So
while
I'm
we're
thinking medium years, you bastards.
while we're quantifying our thoughts here, I'm going to steal that word. I don't know if I used it correctly, but so let's say people can print their own statues, so they're buying the file, and let's say that in the future we can print them as good as the polystone pieces. Do you think that will raise the value of our polystone pieces or decrease? Will people be like, "Oh, you've got the real thing that's heavy and whatnot"?
I think it depends. Will custom studios still be around, or would the artists be creating these STL files on their own? Because it sounds like it'd be the former, I think, right? Where the custom studios aren't going to be around. The artists are going to do it, and they're going to just release it into STL because they can sell more that way.
Right.
So do you think
Well, you're
now
also
with that,
you're also looking at the STLs. If they're selling those off, are they going to be copying some of the older statues? So we're just looking at the mangas of basically, okay, here's your anime statue. Try to guess which one's real and which one's a knockoff.
Yeah, but Greg, to that point, so there are recasts. Recasts don't sell the same price tag that the original does.
Yeah.
So would that be the same suit as what's to come? maybe not.
Like also like now, if let's say it does become, you're buying the STL file now. Do people start raising the prices of the STL file now that you're
Probably.
not?
Probably.
Yeah.
Now that you're not, yeah. So that's
Depending on who
gonna,
did it, yeah.
yeah. So that's gonna
Yeah,
definitely
right-
raise
right
in
now-
price.
The problem is
They
Right
gotta
now you
make
have
they're
to
gonna
have-
make money somewhere.
it's probably gonna be really expensive because then people gotta.
Yeah,
I mean,
right
someone-
now you
one
have to have a
person bought
really
it.
you have to have a
But-
really skill set to take an STL file, print it out, turn it into something that that can be comparable. You
But
have
one
to be-
person could buy that STL file and then just distribute it amongst his friends.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's going to be that's going to be a tough thing too. But I think that IP will get better, especially with blockchain stuff. We'll have ways of being of less piracy.
Someone just tell Barb she's got 10 years to perfect her painting skills. So when that happens, we have at least an artist in the
There's
house.
a lot of sleep right now, right? Get some sleep so you can practice. God,
her phone died.
yeah.
Uh,
Apparently, Hobbies is dead too.
Or she probably took some NyQuil.
Right.
I miss having Barb on the chat and Ohami in the background for at least the first 10 minutes till he falls asleep.
Yeah, until he
falls asleep,
figures
yeah.
out it's too late for his old fucking
Yeah.
ass.
Till he says something controversial and then goes takes a nap.
Yeah, and then goes
Oh,
to
Barb's
bed.
still here.
yeah.
Oh,
But
shit.
I think her skill level as far as painting, I think it's really good. Like I said, I would have happily sent her a piece if it needed a paint job and be like, here, practice on this.
Oh,
I'll
hell
pay
yeah,
you.
for sure.
I'd be satisfied with it.
It's just very time consuming.
I'd
Like
send her one of Ohami's pieces.
Ohami doesn't have any pieces though.
Exactly.
soon their whole collection will be horror stuff.
That is true. So, anyways, are we calling this thing? Putting a fork in it?
I'm tired.
Are you tired or are you drunk?
Both. I ordered Mexican food and now I'm tired.
What'd you eat?
Queso dip and chips like an idiot.
Wait, that's not a
That
meal.
can mess that can mess with your stomach if you go to bed right away.
Yeah,
That
I was
could
gonna
be
say,
that could be
constipation,
catastrophic.
In the morning or late at night?
Both, bro. It's gonna be awful.
But man, Greg, I'm glad that new Greg, not old Greg. I don't give a fuck about old Greg. New Greg, I'm glad that you joined us, man. It's great to finally to meet you. Because like I said, so many different chats. You're there and I'm there and kind of go back and forth, whether you're making fun of me or not. But it's nice to kind of put a face with who's joking around and stuff. I wish that more people that were in these chats would come on shows. That it's you don't have to have.
That's weird. I remember saying that shit to you, Ark. When you were making fun of me in the chat with your fucking anonymity, and I didn't make fun of you back.
Well, I was gonna say, how long did it take Ark to
Ponytail
come on?
douchebag.
So
It was a while, right? And then,
Yeah, it's like
He doesn't have a photogenic face. It's not his fault.
hey, man, that's
Had
an
a
insult. I always thought I had.
Go a long way.
Man, damn, Greg. So
You just
When,
said you didn't give a fuck about me. Fuck you, bitch.
You just should not-
So when people started calling me out and then saying, hey, you got to come on here, especially if are you a troll or you're gonna show your face type thing. So I was like, well, if I'm
definitely
gonna come
remember saying
on,
something like that.
it was never, I gotta have a big enough collection to have my background before I come on, or else I'll be embarrassed. It was never that. It was, well, all I've got is my phone. So I think once I had finally had enough of people calling me out saying, hey, you got to come on, I went out and I bought a camera and a microphone so that I could just be, I wouldn't be,
Like an
all over the
actual
place.
separate camera, not your phone.
Yeah, it's a separate camera.
Really?
Hey,
Yeah, you think-
Ryan, Barb's trying to get in.
Well,
Man, Ryan, you're really just dropping the
Miller will
ball.
take it under review. No, we.
so I don't know
Wearing them out.
if other people in the
Hey.
community, if they want to come on, if they're afraid that their collection is not big enough. I would say even if you got a cell phone, a Tim comes on most times with a cell phone.
Yeah.
So just don't be self-conscious and hop on. Let people meet you. Hang out with us.
You said Ohami's name and he woke up. The minute you said Ohami doesn't have any pieces, he was like, "What?" and he's been sleeping for the past, like, I don't know what, 2 hours the show's been going on.
I heard my name. Somebody insulted me.
He heard
There's
that.
something wrong with the force somewhere.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
Sorry I couldn't make it, guys, but my voice is like going in and out.
No, that's all good.
No, no problem. I think, yeah.
Hey, old Greg is the same way. He's going through puberty, but we still let him on.
You could hate on the baby face.
I am jealous, Greg. If only I could still hit on younger girls like Ryan's Wonder Woman statue.
Luckily, your mom appreciates it.
She does. She gives me a discount. So
it's funny because I was holding my phone and I was kind of like dozing off a little bit there, and then I hear Jerry said she's probably on some NyQuil. I'm like, what? I'm on Mucinex, on Robitussin, on Tylenol, Motrin.
Oh my!
I don't know. I feel like that stuff all makes you feel worse. I'd rather just let nature take its course.
I give all that stuff to my children to make them fall asleep.
Oh yeah, dude. They don't come back up and bother you.
No, I'm just drinking all that stuff because the cough is just nonstop. It's not nonstop, and it's the only thing that helps the coughing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So. But anyways, it's another episode. Episode 2 is in the books now. They're Jerry, the great host that you are. I enjoyed this show. It was nice to have you back.
Are you saying you didn't enjoy last show, you dick?
I did enjoy last show. I enjoy every show I get to do with you guys, whether it's off air, on air. I love you. I love you people. Even if Ohami is unconscious for most of it.
Yeah, he's like there for the first 2 minutes.
It looks like he has his own underwear on his head.
No, Jerry didn't do an auction. No, Jerry didn't.
No auction. Go back to sleep, you fuck.
Tell Ohami to get his underwear off his head.
Yeah.
Ohami being asleep while we talk to him, this reminds me a lot of my love life.
Oh, that's fucked up.
That's a good one.
That's fucked up.
All right, folks. So let's call it a wrap. And thanks for everybody who came to the chat. All 8 of you. We appreciate you coming and participating.
We maxed out at 20.
Yeah, but that's with the 6 of us in the chat.
I didn't think of that.
It's all right. We all sorry.
Okay, we don't care about the views, man. We're just here for the fucking.
That's
hangout.
right. That's for sure. We're here for the fun. So
yeah,
it was a good time.
I want Sean to go back and watch the replay just so he can hear Ryan say that Gambit is a B-list character.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, but then he's going to hear my rant about. I kind of went off on Gambit
about trench coats and metal boots.
Sean's,
I think Sean's rewatching it as we speak.
What else he got to do? He fucking lives in the fucking sauna, dude.
Sean only watched the show when he was in the bathroom. When he came out of the bathroom, his wife was standing there, and he put his phone away.
His life gives
You saying Sean's whipped?
Oh, Sean's definitely
I'm
whipped.
saying Sean's whip with the sharpest whip.
But anyways, good night, everybody.
That's pretty rough coming from Ryan.
Show will end this on a high note. Gambit's A-lister for X-Men.
Gambit's bullshit. Fucking good character.
Sean's got more freedom than Ryan's industrial size copier that he had.
Ryan's got his makeup brush. I got mine.
That's a multi-function printer envy. Right there.
But anyways, good night, everybody. Ryan, fucking hit the end button. Something.
Oh,
good night, everyone.
Good night, all.
Good night.